Uh, Happy 50th episode, guys! Yeah, we made it to number 50. Can we believe it? After like 2 years-ish, we've actually made it to 50th episode, guys. Woo!
Getting pretty old. Oh boy.
I'll be honest, Sonic, I didn't hear half of that because you just completely peaked out on Discord. The
that
audience should be able to
Discord.
hear it, but views just like...
Yeah. You can see the enthusiasm. You can see the enthusiasm.
Episode
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I wish I had 1/10 of Sonica XD's energy.
And
One of these days,
today.
if I ever come to visit you, I'm going to like take a sample of your blood.
He's
and then,
going to
like,
reveal the little
use it.
Morbius plasma suckers on his hand to go plasma
There you go.
and drain you.
Oh my gosh.
Come here, Sonic.
Yes.
I just want a hug. Vacuous
Oh, no.
hands reach out towards you.
It's so funny that they made a movie out of Michael Morbius, and like he's always been dog. He's never been as good as he was in the '90s cartoon, where he wasn't just a vampire. He drained plasma from people. It was like a limitation, but it was way cooler and more interesting than anything they've done with him ever since.
Yeah.
And I expected
What are
that
you
movie
talking
to
about?
be a success.
Jared Leto brought the life out of that character.
I still
Reed
say
had the
that
movie
film's
out.
not as bad as people say it is. It is bad, but it's not anywhere near like the bottom 5 of like the Marvel films. Like we still, that's allowed for
I
like
really want to
Fantastic Four
challenge that
2.
statement. It's just me and Snake just don't want to watch that movie.
But it's got that scene with.
You're just saying it's
Go
not.
ahead.
You're just saying it's not
Have
as bad
sex.
because Madam Web came out, and by comparison, Morbius is not quite that much of a mess.
And
True.
both of you haven't seen Madam Web yet, and I can attest to
I
that.
still think it's better than Thor: Love and Thunder. I'd rather watch Morbius again.
Look
than
at that,
Thor:
we're
Love and
bringing
Thunder.
it back to episode 1,
Yeah.
guys. Look at the
this is our
callbacks.
anniversary episode, the retro throwback, Thor: Love and Thunder. What a piece of shit that was, eh? In fact, here's a clip of that now.
I am not doing that, okay? We are not going to do like a... Remember the good old days? Remember that Halloween episode we all dressed up twice? And whatnot?
Remember when the show was good, when we had all those guests on? Yo.
Remember when our views
over
were
the hill
almost as
now.
good as the podcast with Max, Justin Wong, and the others? We
had
reaching
one
their
episode.
heights. It was epic.
One episode where we surpassed the heights and we actually beat a triple KO episode. And I think it was... The thumbnail was like Sindel, and I photoshopped the Force Snake with like
Oh, no,
Sindel
not
makeup
that one.
on.
Oh,
I think so. Everyone in the comments are like, look
Aw.
at Snake. All he does is hate things. SMH. Snake is only a hater. And I think that episode we were like loving this. Oh no, actually it was a Sindel episode, like trailer. I think I forgot. But that video like blew up.
Takeda will save us. When Takeda gets here, we'll finally reach the mountaintop again.
Takonda.
No. What?
Takonda. That's his name.
To call. Or just keep on changing his name.
Yeah,
I'm
if
just gonna
everyone's
say
gonna get it
called him
wrong, I'm gonna get it
Takedo
wrong.
in college.
Takeda, Takonda, Wakanda,
Takedo.
Wakanda
Okay.
forever. You know.
My bad. The episode. It's not the Cinda episode that was the most popular. The one with Photoshop like Snake. That's number 4. That's our 4th more popular episode. Number 3 is with the one with Wooly. Number 2 is the first time we talked about Invasion Season, and then number 1 is Mortal Kombat 1 Spoilers Sucks, which had the intro of the Force Snake saying I kind of liked it, and we were like, ah! I think that's the one that had the most views right now.
Yeah, that checks out.
That's not the one though that has the confetti, right? That's my favorite personal intro. When we go, whoop, like the fake
I think
confetti
that is
comes
the one with the
out.
confetti, actually. Dog.
I love that
is the
one.
one with the confetti.
We all
Yeah.
get excited. Thor: Love and Thunder. More like Thor: What a Blunder.
Anyways, I actually think like doing this series, especially for like 50 episodes now, like I do really enjoy making those intros, like kind of like taking a part of a funny clip in our like video and then making it as like because usually YouTube likes an intro for like the algorithm, so I just thought I'd do that. But it's also kind of a good like lighthearted like moment to like highlight what the episode is. Actually, that's not entirely true. Sometimes the intro is so out of context of like what the episode would have been too. So maybe I'm kind of going off something. I'm not really cooking here, guys. My bad.
Sometimes you just lie. You just edit things together and make it like something
Oh, yeah.
happened when it didn't.
True.
Those are the
always-
best
it's
ones.
very
Makes it
funny.
funnier.
To this day, for some reason, I think I've used it like 3 times. Where like if one of us says something controversial, mostly it's just True Dog or someone else. It'll be me and Snake. I'll do this, and Snake will do this. And just for some reason, I've used that like 3 times,
that.
and that was from like the our Brusque Poet debate we did like 2 years ago.
It wasn't even from the podcast.
No. I just take it.
Demons.
That'd be a good one for a good way of censoring an insult. Like if I call someone the C word, you can censor it with it like, oh, Devore is such a stupid demons.
You know what? Each of us can have like a censor word, I guess. Yeah. You know, I'll do the Mortal Kombat censor.
By the way, everyone watching, we should celebrate because this podcast is spreading like crazy. Well, Sonic also in general is spreading like crazy. I should say actually Sonic Hot XD because our boy got his first VTuber reaction video.
You guys
Finally
know about
made
that?
it. Yeah, finally made it.
Yes.
That's how it starts, Sonic. Once the VTubers get a hold of you and they know it's okay to react to your videos, there you go.
I mean, I think
Hell
at this
yeah.
point, it's only a matter of time until Sonic takes that custom reptile model that person made and becomes a VTuber himself.
I'm gonna go into VR chat, start making VR chat videos, and
No,
use
it
that
should be
model.
just the VTuber should look like Sonic, but have like a little switch he can press where it flips into like a scaly version.
Ah.
Whenever
I'll
he's
turn
feeling
to
a certain way,
Guillemon.
just
Turn to reptile. Yes.
And he always has to do
because everyone
he
else
has to
is
do the
lazy. They do
pose.
the Ahegao face, where like the little hearts show up and they get like all salivating. You won't do that. You'll just turn into like a reptile version.
I mean,
when
you
you're
say that,
excited.
but isn't there like actually a picture of his mascot character with that exact face, so we can like salivate
sure.
over a reptile?
How?
Oh,
Yeah.
Why are you
and
wearing
just
clothes?
to be clear,
Take it off.
just to be clear, by the way, I never commissioned that. Okay, BK had just one day was like, look at the funny, and she just gave that to me. I'm like, thanks.
But there's one more thing I wanted to announce, and you can feel free to cut it, but I think it's so funny how this happened. It turns out that one of Sonic's wholesome clips that is just meant purely for comedy
I have a
found
bad
its
feeling
way
about this.
onto Rule 34.
Which one? What? Again,
You know about
wait,
this.
wait.
It was
Okay,
General
talking about
Shao
this-
getting spanked by Sindel.
Yeah.
Just because his
I'm not
bare
gonna lie,
cheeks
that's
are
not very
there.
wholesome though. But I think the funniest thing about me finding out about that was just like half the comments were like memes, and half the comments are like, "Oh, do me next, mommy." Like, "Oh hell yeah, this is my kink" or some shit like that. And I'm like, "Oh dear."
Their kinks are big man gets spanked by a woman.
Yeah,
There's got to be a kink.
That
for
woman
MILF,
has-
by
like this
MILF.
bodybuilder.
You have to keep the MILF tag in there, dude. Come on.
yes, the tags, they're very important.
Now I'm kind of
Yeah.
hoping that like Sonic does the repeat of the "everyone's so mean to me," but it's just General Shao in the shower, and he brought the axe with him. Like, he's what he wants to-
In the shower.
with of course a red handprint on his buttocks, where Sindel's been slapping him.
Yeah, from
Oh,
Sindel.
so, it's gonna be so much
ever
hard
so
photoshopping.
noticeable. Like you have to like squint to see it, but it's right there.
Sonic, why would you need to Photoshop it? You got the CG model. Just use that.
I have to Photoshop the hand. I'm not that good with 3D, so I don't know how to like texture put the hand. But yes, I do have the models. That's what I was
you
thinking.
literally just go on Google, type like transparent handprint PNG, and then you just put it on there, color it red. It's very simple.
All right, guys. Around chapter 11, if that happens, you know who the instigators are. Just so you know, okay.
You know what the perfect setup for it is, don't you? Because Shao, I think he's the character you fight the most throughout the story across the two versions, because you fight him like 5 times. So it's
Yeah.
like, wow, Shao is a complete loser in this in this timeline. He's just there. Everyone's so mean to me.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna like shit talk Shao in that chapter. That's why I'm bringing this up, because in the character analysis, that's where I think I can put the picture essentially.
Does it ever like give you dread, Sonic, to know that you still have to cover like 2/3 of the game? Like you're only like 1/3 in.
Half. I would like to
Are
say.
you sure? Oh, okay.
Without counting the DLC, without counting another extra episode for the arcade ending, without counting like 6 hours of footage I had to record in chapter 15.
Yeah, I was gonna say 15 has so many like. If you wanted
mean-
to actually do a deep dive into all the variables and shit, like that would be a whole video.
Well, you've done 6, haven't you? There's 15 chapters, so it's still more than
Yeah.
half. You've still got a long way to go, and some of that stuff is going to take a while to get through. Some of that stuff has a lot to say.
Oh yeah. I'm happy to, at least for myself, to know that chapter 8 isn't going to be very long, because basically I'm going to end the episode being like, there's not much I can say about this. I want to combine this with chapter 9, so bye. So that might be a short episode.
So bye.
And then chapter 9's like, oh my gosh,
Bye.
so much shit I have to talk about.
Yeah, we have
That's
to
how I
keep in
felt
mind
doing
though. It's
the
like,
Inside the Mind series for MK11. I was like, dear God, there's so many more characters, and they keep adding more.
but Sonic, it doesn't matter how many episodes are going to be short, because this next one is going to be the mammoth episode. It is the one about the boy. It's going to be a very long episode. We all know this.
I thought it would be less than 30 minutes. It's probably going up to 40.
You know,
Probably.
Sonic, you could always take the easy way out, and like if the editing gets too hard, like halfway through like the chapter, you could pull an I show speed and just go, oh, and squirt lotion on your own face. Big, oh guys, sorry, I'm done, and then end the video.
What?
I show speed one time did that. He like squirted lotion on his face and implied that he was like doing the deed below the camera. But it was like in reaction to, like, I think he was playing like a FIFA game, and apparently FIFA has like gotcha mechanics when you pull certain pro players. So it was like his favorite pro player. He's like, oh, and he just like squirted the lotion on his own face.
Sonic, if you do a hand cam part, please during it, at the end of it, go. Pretend you got way more to say, and then you know the beatboxing thing, but we got the guy from Zelda doing all this. It's all sped up, but it's your hands just moving.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretend you got like 5 more hours worth of stuff to say, and it's like just fast forwarding.
I do end my segment by saying, and that was my reptile analysis. I could go on for another hour, but
because you said that, Snake, after what I said, I thought you were gonna say he should pull a Evangelion and just like never mention that he has like lotion on his hand, but still do the hand segment. Just one hand has like just noticeably lotion on it, but never mention it.
I was thinking,
Never
I was
tell the
connecting
audience.
with that too for some reason, but yeah.
Like
but
how I
hope you
never
guys will
mentioned
be-
the ketchup and mustard thing in my video. We'll talk about that later, though.
I mean, I wouldn't do that. I would just have the lotion just in the background with all the other stuff.
Oh, that's a good one. I should think about that.
Or alternatively, yeah, and if you're there like, oh, you guys got the wrong idea. It's that Deadly Alliance reptile moisturizer. That's what this is.
That is canon. I still
That is
recall that in
true.
Deadly Alliance. That is a real thing.
Absolutely. I actually think there was a fan art that I received before I had the everyone was so mean to me, and it was like Reptile from MKX or Scorpion's Revenge doing that pose, and the person actually did draw the hand lotion in the bathroom. So you got that detail into there, just super
Oh,
cool.
nice.
But I did announce this to Snake. I didn't say it's to Dog, but like at least like actually no, my fans know about this guy. I did YouTube community this thing. So I hope you guys are excited for that video in August, because I did say the video will be delayed like by a month because I'm going to
Oof.
Japan, and the video is taking a lot longer than expected. However, there will be a video by the end of this month, and I hope and I think you guys will enjoy it because it's going to be very reptile centric. I'm going to title the video "Playing with Reptile for Over an Hour," and it's just going to be, you know, the Combat League video with me playing as Reptile essentially. Here's the thumbnail, by the way, if you guys want to see, because the video,
So yeah, guys, if you're upset that this is going to take longer than expected, I know I am. Just remember, this is the episode that most needs the time and dedication to be made to cook to perfection. You know, this man is cooking so hard, and he still made a side dish for us. Be grateful.
Yes, and then after the reptile video, that'll be my long journey of 8 months straight of non-stop shilling and loving Mortal Kombat 1's like ending. For my main channel, at least. It'd be very hard for me to like another thing from Mortal Kombat for a while now. For our special 50th episode, we have decided to do a mega Q&A special where we're just gonna really just go through many of the questions that you guys asked in the community tab. If you guys have any questions, you can always put it there. We might answer it in the future episodes.
Yeah.
And if we ever get off topic, then expect that. I don't know why I messed that up horribly. But anything you guys want to say before we get into some of these lovely fan questions that we have gotten?
I suppose just put this at the start of the video. Today we're answering your questions in the epic 50th anniversary Q&A special. So stick around for that, because for the first 20 minutes or so, we're talking about absolute dog
It's not
shit.
that long.
So make sure that you stick around to the
It's been
15-minute mark or
minutes.
so.
No, Doc, you can't categorize Sonic's videos under dog shit. I will not accept this. You cannot do this.
Oh, thank you very much.
I will pull a toy gun on you. Don't test me, boy.
What about just Sonic's voice?
Are
There's
you
a
implying
reason he
something
hides
there,
behind
dog?
the AI voice, okay?
You're implying something there,
I'm implying, okay, listen, I forgot this joke from earlier. Because Sonic has begun his animation career, he's clearly an epic 3D animator boy now. I just want to say that NetherRealm, if you do ever add a run mechanic to Mortal Kombat 1, I demand that Quan Chi run like this.
Oh,
Because that's his animation in the Oshra video. Just the whole time. Give him a Dan run, like in Street Fighter 4. Dan was one of the only characters whose backdash was him like running away from the opponent. Give that to Quan Chi. Like he turns the other way and it says, "Oh."
I just love characters whose back animation is them actually turning their back on the opponent and walking away.
yeah. I think like Phoenix Wright had that, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, the look of contempt is like Luigi and Mario Kart 8 levels of contempt he shows towards all around him.
Yeah. But so I think it's really funny because we're recording this episode like earlier because when this episode is out, I'll be in Japan and Trinidad will be getting his EVO championship.
I'll be in Japan stalking Sonic. Yeah.
What?
Why not?
I thought you were gonna take the mantle of the Mortal Kombat championship and beat Sonic Fox. And
I can do both.
So this is like we were pre-recording, so who knows what's gonna happen in the future and stuff like that.
Depends how long he'll be in Japan.
Let's go through some of these epic questions. Ooh, okay. This is a cute one. I think Snake will give you a route up for this one. There's a long name. Davey Gamer, please Terry Kana 4398. If you guys got a chance from Warner Brothers to change anything you want in M1K, excluding the story mode apparently for this question, and Warner Brothers is not able to back out of your decision, what will you change?
Remove Warner Brothers from the equation. It really is that simple. Because when's the last time Warner Bros. Actually did something right?
Unfortunately, it's money only. Like I'm sure the budget is like thanks to them. Would you just mean less budget? I mean that might not ruin the game, but that will like. I mean we all know change up a lot.
We all know for a fact Warner Bros. Pushed the game up by like 6 months or more.
Oh yeah.
Like very clearly they did that. So like remove Warner Bros. From the equation entirely. Get rid of them. Like, I think MK, honestly, at this point, MK would probably be better if NetherRealm could go solo and just be like self-published.
A different studio.
I don't trust any other company to actually handle it with care, like as a publisher. I think it would be best if NetherRealm self-published. But
as long as they hired someone who's really good at, they could hire someone who's worked on like successful indie games in the past and still makes like a game look incredible with a low budget. If they had someone like that they actually listen to. Then yeah, I agree because like they could just do a style instead of going for hyper realism.
Yeah, I mean,
and then it would still be possible
because they would not have like most of the technology they use. I also think story modes would also be dramatically affected because I don't think they would have the budget for like these big, fully animated 2 to 3 hour long movies basically with all the motion capture and that. And it certainly wouldn't get many of the guest characters, but in a lot of ways, having no guest characters would be beneficial.
Here's a question though, Snake. By you saying that they wouldn't have much budget for the story mode, that would mean that the story mode that they could go back to like classic fighting games where it's just like slideshow or like character like coming in. I'm thinking of like literally Onslaught story mode, for the budget. Like, how would that be? Would you think how would that affect
compromise? But I feel like I imagine it'd probably be like 6 chapters long, basically. But which would probably force them to not do character chapters.
See, I don't mind the slideshow as long as they're like really cool looking. Like some of the slideshows in the Invasion seasons are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like they're actually genuinely fun to watch and stuff, And in a weird way, I kind of appreciate them more than like a fully animated cutscene, but only if the cutscene looks just like the regular gameplay. Then I'm like, oh, well, I mean, like that was less effort. You just animated the characters. That's not hard.
I get what you mean. Yeah, I'm trying to think like if they don't have budget, what it would be like Mortal Kombat versus DC.
Just
like,
text on screen. Not even a slideshow, just like a single image. Deception style.
You know what they need to do?
They do that in Onslaught, right?
You know what they need to do? They need to go back to mythologies. Green screen actors in costumes. Superimpose into the stages. Oh, that'd be good.
That'd be cool. That'd be. I would love to get a Mortal Kombat game like that. And there are rumors that like they are the Mortal Kombat series is being like considering some like not fighting game like series, which we got one, which is Onslaught, and many people are saying like, Ed did also tease like, when we're making Shaolin Monks 2, you know, like whenever that happens, it's totally happening, he said one time. So I do feel like some of those ideas, like I would love to see like a Mortal Kombat game, like going back to like live action people for, like filming it and stuff.
Another consequence of the lower budget would be no more unique character intros. They would just have their default intros like most fighting games, which honestly
That's fine.
I'm fine with. I'm okay with that. No more farming that, you YouTube channels that I'm definitely not low-key jealous of, that all you do is post like interactions every week and you get like 100K views guaranteed.
With thumbnails that are
With
clearly
your lying thumbnails that make shit up, like oh my
Johnny
god,
Cage-
Rain,
Johnny-
I'm
so
in love with
funny.
you, and it's Cassie like he-gowing.
Oh, Johnny
Aaron
Ca-
Black
like
flirting
Johnny
with every
Cage.
female.
You look like Kratos and Baraka with like the one team making
Yes.
thank you. Like
Yeah.
fuck you. It's funny. Don't get me wrong. That's clever.
The
and funny,
thumbnails are
but
very funny.
Fuck you.
Actually, to me, I'm always a big fan in fighting games when they have interactions that aren't just like canon or like based off of story mode stuff. And like in Street Fighter 6, we don't have that, but we do have World Tour, so you can get like your interactions of these characters like that way. Tekken, they have it, but it's only for certain characters, so the compilation's like less than 5 minutes, you know. So it's like I don't hate intros. I do like seeing them. They're fun, but like if cutting them or like making less of them will help the budget, totally, you know. Like I don't mind that being cut.
Yeah.
Part of me is thinking, because the question is saying like to take, you know, add something that they can't refuse. Part of me is thinking, should I be selfish and be like, yo, just give us like changing the lizard form, give us like MKX skin, Scorpion's Revenge skin, Deadly Alliance lizard form, or maybe I should be more selfless and just say, remove the microtransaction. I'm doing it for the fans.
Oh, okay.
Just putting it like that. Microtransactions should just be the DLC characters, and that you literally take out like a chunk of the hate that people are giving the game right now. Just a big old chunk of it.
Are they still
So,
doing that? Damn, crazy.
Well, if you ask why Mortal Kombat 1 is hated, like there are a multitude of reasonings, but the biggest reason is microtransaction bugs.
I mean, there is that famous thumbnail where it's like Ed Boon on Twitter saying we need more microtransactions.
Yep, I still need to watch that. I still want to do a reaction to that video to see what the heck the contents are, because if the thumbnail is that big of a blatant lie, then I wonder what's inside the actual video. But I'm sure the video might be great. It could be a very good video.
There are a multitude of reasons why people hate Mortal Kombat, but the biggest reason is because rushed bugs and then also microtransactions. So like I'm just saying if I could take one of them out, or at least not that egregious.
I wonder how much that would have softened the blow if they just hadn't been charging $10 for costumes out of the gate. I wonder how much that would have like softened the blow if they were just like $3.
I'll tell you one thing though. I do think it softened the blow for other fighting games, because it's like Tekken's doing microtransaction,
no one's even talking
but
about
at
other
least
fighting game shit right now.
not
like,
as
no one's
big.
talking about
not
charging
as
for
big.
music in Street Fighter 6. It's free. You can listen to it on your computer or your phone while you play. Why are you spending money on in-game music that's been out for 10 years already? Why are you doing that? The nerve to charge for that is crazy to me, but like barely anyone's talking about it.
Yeah,
But,
other fighting games definitely are not following like a good like example. But I will say Mortal
least we got
Kombat kind of
Ball.
like
We got Ball in Tekken 8.
I do love Ball. But what I'm saying is Mortal Kombat is kind of like, whether or not you think it's the worst, it is bad, but whether or not you think it's the worst, it definitely is the one taking like the charge.
Oh, yeah.
It takes the Mortal Kombat ran for the hate so the others can walk. I don't know. That's not a good example, but you get what I mean.
They should have done what Tekken 8 did and just wait a month or so after the game was out and then drop the store.
Tekken 8 still
Get all
got
those
hate for
good
them.
reviews.
But
I think
like,
I think what you're trying to say, Sonic, is it's like that meme where you got like the kid in the bed and the soldier like that getting taking all the fire to protect the child. That's M1K to protect the sleeping Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8.
yeah, my point is like just like microtransaction bad.
Yeah, no, I agree. Okay,
All right, shut it
I
up.
have my idea, but this might be cheating. This could be like
it story
the
mode
wishing for
related?
more wishes kind of glitch. I would force WB to every month have a poll and just ask fans what they want the most, and whatever wins, they have to do. Like each month. So if they go like, what costume do you want? And they do a poll, and if it ends up being like Flesh Pits Melina or whatever, Deception Sub-Zero, you got to put it in the game. You got to make that specific skin because they polled on it. If they say they want this character to be DLC, gotta put him in. If they say they want, all the Kameo characters to have their own mode versus Kameo fighters, gotta do it. Gotta put it in the game.
That sounds like it could be really fun, but at the same time, you know what the first thing that people would demand would be remove Kuai Liang Scorpion from the game, restore Hanzo, restore the Hanzo verse.
Well,
bring back my OTP of Hanzo X Harumi, because that was totally a shit.
Sonya playable.
Because Harumi was a character, guys. She was totally a character before now.
Just so you know, I think what Dog is suggesting is smarter because it's a poll. It's not fan comments, you know what I mean? Like they control the poll, so that's why they have more persuasiveness of like what they get to make. You know, it's not they're not gonna literally say what do you guys want and put like a thing you can vote, remove Kuai Liang Scorpion in the poll. You know, literally what Dog is suggesting.
Possible. So let me change. Like that's my what if scenario. Here's like the more realistic one. They have to add a fully functioning tag team mode akin to the same level of detail as Mortal Kombat 9, where it's not just swap in, swap out. There's also special moves you can swap in during, and there's specific combo strings that also can be tagged into, right? I want that for the fans. I want that for another fun option. It would add more reason to play the game. But most of all, I want it so that people who say they want it will shut the fuck up and realize they don't actually want it because they don't have the skill to actually do tag. I want it for that reason.
Yep.
I want those people who've been complaining in every video, give me a tag mode. I want those people to get utterly stomped over and over again and realize, oh fuck, I can't handle two characters fighting me at once. I never could.
No, Dog.
It was all pipe dream.
If they do that, they're just gonna say, "Oh, it turns out this game sucks if I can't win." So it's their fault again.
Or they'd be like, "I was wrong to think that I could save this game. Turns out it's ass no matter what." And it's like, "No, you're ass. You can never handle it. Go back to Mortal Kombat 11 with your auto-regenerating meter and your crushing blows that do 30% damage and your throws that do 30% damage in 2 throws and crushing blow on their own and shit. Go back to that. Go back to your free win, your unreactable fatal blows. Go back to your crutch."
I forgot Mortal Kombat 11 had auto.
This is all just satire, by the way. I'm just playing.
It's funny when you list the
I love you
elements of the game like that because you make it sound like some dog shit mobile spin-off.
I mean, I know why Dog is like especially being mad about this because if you go into a lot of forums, a lot of what happened?
I couldn't hear anybody for a second there.
Oh, okay.
Why
I
still
thought,
fucks.
Yeah, I know why Dog was being a lot more raged about this, and also he did bring up the tag team argument in the last episode or episode before that. That's his new topic coming up, so I'm excited to hear that. But what I want to say was there are a lot of people who hate Mortal Kombat 1 so much that they will say that Mortal Kombat 11 is better, and I will agree there are aspects of Mortal Kombat 11 are better, but everybody is just don't agree from a gameplay perspective that Mortal Kombat 11 is better. So whenever that's always brought up, you just saw a Dog, like a true Mortal Kombat fan there being like, crushing blows,
crushing blows. Damn it, Garrus with your 10 crushing blows, and Johnny Cage that might not even have any, might as well not have any because he never gets to use them. And then Cabal, where every crushing blow has the same requirement, which proves he was clearly not finished, and they just left it that way. But yeah, it's not that big of a deal. I think it's kind of cool, actually. I like how some people consider this a downside. I think it's kind of a pro. I like that there's 3 different Mortal Kombat games. I'm not counting MK9 just because most people can't even play it anymore because it's not on the store and all that. And the servers are down, so you can't play it online, I don't think. But MKX, MK11, and MK1 all have their different draws to them for why you'd want to play them, right? If you want insane rushdown and just constant chaos, then MKX is your game. I think some people have rose-tinted glasses on that game, though, because they don't remember how BS the 50-50s were. You'd block one, then a second one would come, you'd block that, then a third one would come, and you get launched for a full combo. You're like, well, I tried. I got the coin flip right twice, and then I still lost. MK11 is for the more slow-paced footsie game, and also very, very forgiving to casual players, because there's so many comeback mechanics in it, right? And the customization is kind of cute. You can have 3 different kind of Sindels. That's kind of cute too. And then Mortal Kombat 1 is kind of if you love your combos and you prefer that MK9 style meter system and you don't want the interactables and shit, because that was considered annoying and kind of
true.
took
Yeah,
away
they removed
from the actual characters fighting. I think they all have their own place in the zeitgeist.
And cameo fighters.
Cool. They're all their own game.
That's a huge factor in Mortal Kombat 1. The cameo fighters, the tag team mechanic.
I love the cameo system too. I know some people hate it. I like it a lot because whenever a new character comes out, it's so fun to not just learn that character, But then they go, ooh, it's sort of like pairing them with the cameos. Oh, what does this open up? Oh, what does this character allow me to do? Oh, geez, Janet Cage. It's always Janet Cage. Who's the best character with this DLC? Janet Cage. Always is, because she's the best.
Yeah, I remember seeing a tweet recently where the person just kind of was like, people love to bring up MKX being the best and MKX like being the most superior game, and why none of us can't make a game as good as MKX. And then he just said, like, just go play it then. Like, it still has crossplay. Like, people are still playing it online. The game is still there. Like, there's a bunch of still. You can just play it online and still play it like right now. It's not dead.
You know what?
Interesting point.
I have a challenge for EVO, the biggest fighting game tournament. I want to test a theory.
Okay.
How about next year, just for fun, whatever Mortal Kombat game is current, or whatever NetherRealm game is current at the time, probably still going to be Mortal Kombat 1, but just for fun, in the same way that you had Street Fighter 6 and Third Strike at the same EVO tournament, put Mortal Kombat X there. Just for fun. Let's see
Mortal
how it does.
Kombat X.
Let's see if people enter it just because they know it's the only time Mortal Kombat X is going to be back, because that's what's happening with Third Strike. People want to pretend that's not why it's getting all those numbers. It's because people are like, oh, finally, this game that I've been playing for like decades, it's actually at EVO again. Let's go. It's probably never going to come back. It's like that FOMO thing, right? Let's play it now. Let's compete in it right now and experience that fun of like playing this, 30-year-old game at this point? Epic? Let's play this 30-year-old game at EVO. Let's freaking do it. And
yeah,
it's like,
I actually really enjoy seeing like older games that were very beloved coming back. Like, I remember, wasn't last year Marvel vs. Capcom? Like, they just like brought it back.
Yeah.
Wasn't that last year? Yeah. So I wouldn't mind like always having like one of these more older beloved games like come back. I think that is pretty smart for MKX, honestly, since like people bring it up.
I just want to test the theory.
I think it'd be fun. It would be interesting. Well, yeah, it would be interesting. Now that I did bring up EVO, do you want to bring up that interesting topic that people do talk about for EVO?
Oh, just like the really low numbers of players for MK1 or what?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because that's
it
been,
definitely
like, a
is interesting, and sadly the pro players who were like being a little bit of copium, they were like, no, NetherRealm players, we always wait until the last minute to sign up. So you're gonna see those numbers like jump up last minute. It didn't really happen. It still stayed stuck at like 600. So I thought it was 1,000, and then I double checked, and I'm like, oh, it is actually only like 645 or something. It's not very many players. So for anyone who's not aware and doesn't follow that crap, because it's okay, you don't need to follow that crap. But for comparison,
competitive
Street Fighter
cringe,
6
right?
is like in the 7,000s, right?
Something like that, yeah.
So times
5,000.
Point is almost times 10 the players, just for some perspective. It's pretty wild. And I don't think Mortal Kombat ever has anywhere close to the most entrants anyway, but it's never been like this drastically low before either, I don't think. Now, on the one hand, that is worth talking about. It's a fun video topic for people, but the weird disconnect I see is people acting like this somehow hurts the game. Like it's going to hurt WB somehow. Like, take that. It's like, they don't give a shit. It doesn't affect WB at all. It affects us because there's not as many people playing it, but it's kind of a good thing for me. I always joke like, this is good. It means I have a better chance of getting like top 32. I've only got to win like 5 games and I'm top 32. Now, that being said, I realized last night while laying in bed staring at my ceiling fan that also means I have a way higher chance of bumping into pro players back to back because there's only going to be pros competing. So it's in a way the most elitist tournament ever because it's only going to be like really skilled players. We'll see what happens. Are
you gonna make a video about that? Are you gonna like film your footage and stuff?
I should try and do that this time because last year at EVO, I sadly somehow forgot to sign up for the fighting games. I bought the ticket, but then I guess I got busy working or something because I posted daily back then, like daily, and then on top of that day job. So I probably just forgot to actually sign up for the games. So I wasn't registered for any game. So I just kind of walked around with my friends watching them play. It would just say hi to fans and stuff, which was still fun. But I regret it because I didn't get to compete in Street Fighter 6. And your boy was actually really good at Street Fighter 6 early on. I'm not good anymore because everyone else learned the meta, but I was really freaking good at that game when EVO happened. I was beating like Masters and Diamonds casually in that game. It was pretty epic. Now, pros still would have destroyed me. They would have eaten me alive because I was playing Manal. And Manal is not... She just can't hang with the top tiers once you get to the pro level. But she beats a lot of regular players because they can't handle that command grab. But yeah. I would love to film it and do like a little like, hey, here's what it's like to be at EVO. Here's what you can expect.
Yeah, I think that'd be a really fun video.
I think it'd be fun. And also show what you can do like with all the attractions around it. Like, hey, I like going to this ramen place. because it's for nerds. And I know that like a lot of nerds go to Evo. So if you like are scared to go to like regular normal restaurants because like all those old boomers are there, don't worry, I got you. Just a 3-minute drive this way is a really awesome ramen shop where all the nerds go. They even bring a little Kid Boo out with your ramen bowl.
So yeah, the conversation about the numbers does like go in like different directions, because on one hand, people just want to bring this up because they want to like add that to the list of things to hate on Mortal Kombat 1. On the other hand, there's also like a lot of like it's Mortal Kombat was never like the biggest competitive game like even previously. Like I think someone made a list and being like, oh, once you kind of compare this list, it kind of even makes sense. When Mortal Kombat 11 came out, it came out around April, and EVO was around July. So for the first competition, you had 3 months to prepare for this. Mortal Kombat 1 came out in September, so you almost had an entire year playing before EVO happened. So it's not like so fresh and new anymore. So I think that's also one big aspect. And also, like, if you compare the numbers from like previous years, it's always been kind of low. And yes, for like a new entry, this is considered low, but like when you compare it, it's always been this has always been a thing for Mortal Kombat. But of course, people want to bring up the fact that, you know, the Mortal Kombat 1 hate is real, so that's why they brought it up a lot more this time.
For some reason, no matter how low the player count gets for Mortal Kombat 1, there will always be views if you make a hate video on it. That audience will always be there, no matter what. In fact, there's some YouTube channels that I don't even dislike. Sorry, my mic still is not hearing you guys, but there's still some guys who make those hate videos that I kind of respect, but I still want to like make a cheeky comment sometimes, like, whenever your views get too low, you always come crawling back to Mortal Kombat 1, because that's the only way you can break 10K views.
Yeah. I still think they, like, this is also, like, NRS and WB could totally do better handling for things. It's like, I really think No Blood would help the, like, tournament scene and competitive way more. Literally, like, because of that, like, some countries just can't even play it and stuff. Or maybe, I think this is just, like, a hunch, but maybe the Kameo system isn't really suiting for some competitive players, but I don't know. This seems like normal, like, NetherRealm Studios, like, stats as I just posted here, so we can only speculate, honestly, but overall, it's just like,
it's half the numbers of MK11, but MK11 was, well, it's 1/3 the numbers almost of MK11, actually. But it's worth noting that MK11 was a, like I mentioned earlier, very casual, friendly game. So I think people who had never wanted to go to EVO before, they probably played MK11 and were like, I'm pretty damn good at this, you know, like gaslighting themselves because that game carries you like super hard. And they're like, I can finally do well at EVO. And then MK1 gets here, which has the same kind of skill requirement as like MKX or MK9, which wouldn't have been a big deal if it came after MKX, but it came after MK11. So you went from like the easiest coddled game, like literally that game does carry you. I hate to be rude, but it carries you. And then you get to MK1, which does not hold your hand at all. Like if you do not know how to deal with mix-ups, frame data, and footsies, you're just done. Like if you can't manage the opponent's cameo, you're done. Like you can't get rid of their cameo. It's a button in the game. You know what I mean?
Play Sindel.
True. Good point. Yeah. But I mean, I was gonna give an idea, but then that would make Sindel even more top 5 than she already is. I was gonna say instead of her little ability having to be timed with the cameo summon, just make it to where she coats herself in like a purple glow, and if they summon their cameo at any point during that glow, she steals the cameo. But that'd be way too OP because she's already a good character. You can't give her that.
That sounds like a gimmick like Quan Chi would have, where it's like, you send your cameo after me, I mind control them to turn against you.
Ooh,
all right, I think we had a pretty long conversation about that one question, so I think that's pretty good.
Yeah,
good luck.
I love this this Q&A where it takes like 40 minutes to get to the second question.
Good luck at EVO, by the way, Trinidad. By the time we're recording this, we don't know how good he did. I'm sure.
My goal, as always, is to lose as soon as possible so that I can just enjoy Vegas. Because if you do too well, then you gotta show up again on the second day, and then on the third day. Whereas if you lose right away, you can just spend the next 2 days at just having fun in Vegas. Because the fourth day you gotta show up, because that's when they do the big grand finals and all that, right? The top 8 for all the games. That's when it's like the most fun. And this time I think it's actually included for the first time. They've never done that before. The last day was included with your purchase. Before, you had to pay extra if you wanted to come to that big Coliseum like final day. It was like an extra add-on to your ticket. Isn't that kind of BS? That's how it
That
used to
does
be.
sound kind of
Imagine if the
BS.
tournament in the fighting games were like that. Like, oh, you want to watch the final fight between Kazuya and Heihachi Mishima? You have to pay extra to come and watch the final of the Iron Fist tournament. You want to watch Liu Kang fight Shang Tsung? Tough. You have to pay extra.
They would call bullshit, but they would pay for it though. You know, that is the main deal.
Said, yup. I was doing the Logan Paul.
Yup.
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 I love that when he found someone being hanged in the living forest. That was amazing.
Look.
He sought that out too. Never forget. He purposely went into the living forest with the only goal being to film a corpse for views. I have no doubt that if he did not find a corpse, he would have like bought one of those fake bodies and like dressed it up and like and hung it anyway.
Oh,
He would have got his content.
I'm having the dumbest image now of like, imagine it's the M1K living forest. King Jared is hung up on a rope, and Quan Chi's doing the point, and he's got that stupid Logan Paul
with the Logan Paul hat.
on. Yeah.
Todd.
See, that's
That
where you
sounds
went.
like a
I
funny
thought you were
idea.
gonna go somewhere different and say the living forest comes back, but somebody mods one of the hung guys in the background to just look like Logan Paul. Just puts the clothes and the hat on him.
Just Logan Paul.
Camera
Oh,
in
that's
hand.
that's a good thumbnail, or that's a good like just a meme picture. Yeah, I like that.
Hey, Quan Chi. Get them.
So do you guys want a more like conversational? Well, I was gonna say a more conversational, or more like a meme like question.
We just had a
meme.
conversational one. Went on for Dog went on for way too long. I'll say that.
Damn!
Yeah, Dog.
Wow.
Read the room and learn when to keep your trap shut. Let other people talk.
This is why when I record my videos, I normally do that, but when it's like live, it's harder for me to like purposely shorten whatever the fuck I'm gonna say to be as quick as possible.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure I insult everybody equally.
Yeah.
Sonic, you smell. Okay, everyone's been insulted equally.
He probably
Okay, very
does.
nice.
He's probably a stinky boy.
Okay, well, you know what? Too much insulting going around here in this podcast, so we need some wholesomeness. We need some wholesomeness here. So Kevin MS 99336 says, "How y'all so handsome?"
I'm not.
No, how dare you, Snake? You're very handsome.
No, I'm
You're
not.
always the one wearing the most flashy stuff on our podcast. Come on now.
That is true. He's got a good
to make
sense of
up for the
fashion.
fact that it's like Melina. You know how Melina dresses all flashy, shows off her body because she's got that butter face? I'm like that. That's why I wear Overwatch and Spider-Man, so to distract from my hideous face.
Hell yeah.
Why do you think I wore that fucking lizard mask last time? It's in the thumbnail and everything.
Oh yeah, it was in the thumbnail. I mean, now come on now. People have the hots for Melina. I'm sure people also find you hot too. That was a compliment. That was definitely a compliment.
Just give him big mommy milkers and then he'll have the complete attention.
Sushi Sensei, get on it!
If I didn't have this hairline, I'd be more attractive, but oh well. This is just how my forehead looks. Big forehead. Normally I wear a hat, but it's too hot in my house. They still haven't fixed my AC, so I refuse to put that hat on and cook my brain. I'm dumb enough as it is without help, so...
But yes, thank you very much for calling us very handsome, everyone. Very cool, very wholesome. I don't know exactly how well we took it though. But anyways, next question
I think I'm handsome at
is
the right angles, to be fair. Sonic, I'll send you some photos of me posing in the sunlight with like the proper angles and how handsome of a boy I can be.
Dog,
Sure.
you're always handsome except that one time when you got photoshopped to have that weird, hideous, over-detailed face. I don't know
Why
how
did they
that happened.
do that to me?
bringing it
So
back to
mean.
episode
Do that
one. Bringing it back to episode one. Holy
I
crap!
mean-
I just realized that was at an interview at EVO, correct?
Yeah.
So our first episode was like literally around 2 years ago then.
Yeah.
Oh, we're so old. We're so old.
Yeah. How wholesome. 50th episode, right? Well, you will be at EVO already, so whereas like EVO has already been through it,
Yeah,
so
it's
yes.
true.
Everyone in the chat,
Very
give
awesome.
Dog your energy for Evo. Even if you're actually going to support someone else, give them your energy.
Get at least a couple of wins. Get top 100. Oh. The middle finger.
The middle fingers. Oh.
Okay. If you could swap a Kameo and a fighter, who would you pick?
Ooh.
A swap.
I would swap
Yes.
Kung Lao for Kung Lao.
Ooh, that's controversial. Damn.
Oh, no,
Classic.
I know a lot of fans would swap Scorpion for Scorpion.
True. That is
I
true.
have my Hanzo back, yay!
That is literally true. Exactly. You swap Kung Lao with Kung Lao. That means the current Kung Lao now can teleport because the current one cannot. So that's the reason you swap there.
Perfect Legend may or may not have been in my DMs a couple days ago, just giving me a full rant about how much he hates the new Kung Lao for not having like half his abilities.
Yeah, one of my friends is like, I love his teleport. In the Mortal Kombat 2021 movie, when he showed up, he does that spin teleport out of
yeah.
that made him fall in love with Kung Lao. So without in the new universe, he's like, what? Then what's cool about this Kung Lao?
Oh, could you imagine if they do make a 2021 costume set and they put a Kung Lao's costume on Kung Lao and he can't do the thing he does to introduce himself in the film?
He'll learn teleporting in the next game or something. I don't know.
You know, I was gonna say Shujinko at first, but then I realized he just kind of played the same role as Shang Tsung because he can copy moves and stuff. So instead, I'm gonna say Motaro because I just want them to try. I just want them to try and actually make him a full-blown character, and I think he'd be pretty sick. I think he'd be pretty fun.
Well, who are you swapping it with?
That's a good question. That's the
See,
harder
this is the controversial part. This is the part where it's like, which one of these characters?
For me, it's the Kameo.
I need the roster pulled up.
For me, it's making
I'm gonna pull up
Kameo
a roster.
playable is the hard part because I feel like there aren't really many characters here that do anything particular that the playable characters don't.
I have one answer, but the thing is
question.
also Mortal Kombat 1 loves to change up a character so much that they're just so different from the original counterpart. Like Ashra is like very different compared to the 3D era. You know, she's got the dark form, she doesn't have the hat, she doesn't have the spinning. They kind of made it like their own thing basically. Li Mei has all the fireworks shenanigans, so obviously they'd have to come up with new stuff for them, and I could see a lot of that being applied.
You know, I was gonna be a dick and say Tanya because no one seems to like her anyway. But I rather like how Tanya plays in Mortal Kombat 1.
I think gameplay-wise she's
you know
cool.
what? I'm gonna say
absolutely.
fuck it. Garrus can go away. He's actually more unpopular. Like very few people are playing him, and the ones who do play him think that he's like dog water and needs buffs. And realistically, his role in the story mode could be like just story mode only. He does not play a big enough role to be like a playable character.
You never fight him.
I think he's only there because they wanted to include at least a couple more characters from the previous game, and that's why he's there.
Yeah.
Garrus is the only NRS original character. Oh, sorry, like, you know,
and it's the one playable character you don't fight at any point in the entire story.
Yeah. I think
Also,
it's a shame,
if WB has their way, judging by Liu Kang's ending, I would not be shocked if they either sideline or kill Liu Kang, and then Garrus becomes like the new Protector of Earthrealm main character. I could see them doing that
My
shit.
reading of it actually was that Garrus is just... I mean, well, because of Garrus' role, I feel like he's going to kind of take a bit of a Raiden-ish role as like a guide, whereas because Liu Kang is... He's got his full power, but now he can die now, he's mortal, so I think they're kind of trying to maybe push him back towards his traditional role, but more as like an overt leader, which he never really was before. He's just kind of the top fighter, but like if he's leading the charge now, whereas Garrus would be like more like the Raiden guy saying, hey, here's what's going on, go deal with it, and Liu Kang's like, yes, I'll bring to me my Mortal Kombat champions.
Yeah, because like I also feel like, because you're implying that maybe Liu Kang would die, I don't know, because I think Garrus is like, his arcade ending just kind of implies he's out of it.
Yeah,
he's like, okay, bye Garrus, have fun being the watcher of the Mortal Kombat universe, basically.
I see it that way too. I think they are just sidelining Garrus.
And also, it's a shame because I like how they handled Garrus in the story, despite him being forgettable and stuff. Like, he's one of the characters I would say had a giant improvement from the last game, and I'm like, oh, I like this. I like what they did here with him. If I don't have any foresight of any of these characters after they get released, sure, Garrus. But if I have foresight, you know, because of what we have as of right now, it's like I want to sideline that Megan Fox. And another character, because of how insignificant this character is like Reiko. He's just like, he's just there. Oh, I feel like his depiction just is not interesting. So I'm just like, Reiko, Natara, just because like, if she gets sidelined, that means she's not important here. So that means they can make her important in future games and stuff like that. But now that because she's a main character and now people don't like her, it's the opposite effect. Now we're just not gonna get a good Natara, unfortunately.
What Kameo would you make playable?
Chameleon.
Makes sense.
The thing is, though, yes, we could go with the gimmick
Ooh,
of
that'd be
just
cool.
doing, the Jay Katana and Melina swaps, or any other character like female ninja, so Scarlet and Tanya moves and stuff like that. We could go with that gimmick, which I think would be great, and think it'd be very interesting. But also, you add in the gimmick the fact that she's an Umgadi, so there's also some of that elements that you can add to her moveset, and then also she's a Terran, so lizard form. We talked about this when we were coming up with our fatality. Remember that, with all the potential. So I'm just bringing that back here, essentially.
The thing with Chameleon is she actually had Tanya moves in Armageddon, and now that she's training with Tanya, it would make sense. With Tanya playing completely differently, let Chameleon have some of Tanya's moves. I mean,
the Tonfas.
Part of the way to look at the cameos is like, I feel like the whole point of Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Janet and Kung Lao being these cameos is to maintain some of these older moves that aren't on the characters anymore, because they are functionally different now.
That is true, except for Sub-Zero.
So Chameleon could have been used that way, where she could have shown up with all these moves that Katana and Melina don't have, but also Jade and Tanya and maybe Scarlet. They could have done more.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, other than, because Jade's not in the game yet, Katana's fan lift, she does... Wait, she does kind of have a move like that, right?
Yeah, it's one where she like throws them and they hit them and they go whoa in the air, I think. I don't think she just has like the straight classic one.
No, she doesn't have the doesn't have that.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is like the cameo version of Chameleon does lift your character up. I'm thinking if they did that, like that's kind of like a thing that Katana can't do. And then I don't think Melina can throw a sai in the air, right?
Not in the current game.
She can spin, but I mean, like, she can't, like, jump up and throw a side. That's what I mean. So those are the things that they can't do, that Chameleon can do, essentially.
No, NetherRealm was trying to get rid of that gimmick ever since MK11. That's why she couldn't even do the telekick into air sai. And then in MK1, they're just like, her teleport's entirely different now.
The Snake, right? You haven't answered.
I would drop Geras. Just because...
Oh, I'm shocked you didn't pick Quan Chi.
He doesn't hate Quan Chi. That's a stereotype. He doesn't hate Quan Chi. He just hates
he literally was a
Quan
cameo
Chi
fighter
nonsense.
in the Titan Shang Tsung fight too, right? Like, he should have been a cameo fighter, technically speaking.
Yeah.
Fair point.
There are some characters I feel they should just make cameos just anyway. Just throw out some extra cameos. Like, I think the expansion should just have one. Just throw out Quan Chi cameo or something. Just go for it. But I would drop Geras just because... I know we don't. I feel like he's like the firmest grappler in the game, other than maybe Reiko.
Reiko, yeah.
So I see where he has some utility in that the time stop stuff is unique, but I do feel like the way he was handled in the story, he really just makes more sense to just be off to the side. You can bring him back later. There's no reason you can't in a sequel. Or maybe
he could still work as a
DLC,
cameo. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, so I'd make him cameo and have Serena on the roster.
Ah, I see.
Honestly,
Yes.
I think it would have been stronger actually if Serena was in place of Natara. Take every scene with Natara and have it be Serena, just not voiced by Megan Fox.
How dare you?
Oh my gosh! If Serena is playable, she's gonna be voiced by Megan Fox, and then Natara is gonna be voiced by the voice of
Megan
Sindel.
Fox, and I'm the voice of Serena.
Oh, then it'd be like,
The alternate timeline.
that's the same year as Cage Match, and it's like, why is it with MK and getting these celebrity cameos as Serena?
That's funny. You know what's really funny is, like, I think, like, Natara being a character, like, in the plot is not that big of a deal, but I think also it was because they were in the trailer, they were showing, like, Natara and Asha fighting, so it was like this, ooh, is it gonna be like these two characters are gonna have like a rivalry throughout the certain So literally, you're right. Like, Serena has more connections with Asha because it's like, Asha wants to get her out of the mind control, and you see that in the arcade ending and all that kind of stuff.
It's similar to the way because the stuff you were talking about in your video. Go watch his video on the Asha chapter.
I shit talk Natara for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, about how. Because I feel like Asha's arc here makes the most sense. Focus on her and Serena. She's trying to save her sister from Quan Chi's control, and then that happened in this game, and then in the next game the two can have a completely different dynamic, or in the expansion they can, where the two are now operating as allies rather than enemies, and you can even make like a parallel between them and Scorpion and Sub-Zero, how those brothers have been driven apart while these sisters have come back together. And then after that, in the sequel, you introduce that's when you introduce Nitara, and that's when you start going to, Ashra's quest is actually corrupt.
I really wish.
You know, I changed my mind. I'm gonna drop Nitara down to Kameo. She's gonna look exactly like she did in Deadly Alliance. Exactly. Not this alternate costume redesign bullshit. The actual design from Deadly Alliance. And Serena's gonna take her place on the roster, but we're not gonna have Megan Fox. Megan Fox can get in the sea and have a swim, and we're gonna get an actual professional to play Serena. Who? I don't know.
I love how this discussion made you replace Gears with Nitara after you thought about it a bit more. Like, yeah, actually, this makes more sense.
But Snake, don't forget, this is NetherRealm we're talking about. So just imagine that Ashra does all this work in story mode to save Serena, and then Quan Chi just pulls a straight up Shao Kahn. Fool, she is not bewitched. And Serena runs up and hugs him and goes, wife.
You're gonna make.
They're in love this whole time. And then you get Bi-Han in the background doing the Guile thing from the Street Fighter cartoon. No!
See, my fear is that they're going to do some kind of... You know how they've done the weird parallels with politics, like with Shao Kahn, the last game? My fear is they're going to try that with Quan Chi, because it's not the Brotherhood of Shadow now, it's the Sisterhood. Because Quan Chi didn't found it in this timeline. It already existed. He came in, and if Serena's under his control... That implies all of them could be. And so are they going to do this man comes into this women's group and takes over with his vile patriarchy magic mind control? Is that what they're going to do? I hope not. I would off myself. In a video game.
It's the Barbie movie all over again. This man just comes in with his patriarchy and takes over hell.
A white man. The whitest man who ever whited.
He was brown. He was brown, but now he's turned white, so he's bad now, guys.
He's post-white.
Right? He's, I'll be honest, though. If they're going to go political, I was actually thinking it's going to be, when the eventual, Hotaru joins the game, and, they really talk about Saido and, Order Realm and stuff. I think that's when it'll get political, in my opinion.
Police brutality.
Could you imagine, Serena and Ashra kick open the bathroom door and laugh at Quan Chi because they catch him trying to paint his white skin brown again? He's like, and they're just like, fucking nerd.
No, they don't do that. They take pictures of him and go, look at this white man trying to put on brown face. Cancelled. # Quan Chi is over party.
Damn.
Cut to him getting beat up in Smiling Friends, and the guy's like, see that right there? That's why I don't dress up for Halloween.
Dude, is that blackface?
Which is funny.
Is that blackface, bro?
Which is funny because
no, I'm a literal demon.
In the older timelines, it would have been, is that a fucking white face, bro? No, I'm actually a demon because he was a white demon.
Oh yeah.
By the way, Sonic, I love your filter of making Quan Chi just older. He's already mad. And it gets even madder and older.
Yeah. I was also thinking the Snake, because Snake was like, wouldn't it be funny if when you select him, he does this? And wouldn't it be funny if you get the hook mod onto his face? So I just did that, and then so I decided to turn that version into the face filter to make him older, basically. But by the way, Snake, Smiling Friends Season 2 has concluded, so you can watch the entirety of both seasons right now, back to back.
I actually watched the first 3 episodes, and the style of comedy is not for me.
How dare you? You love the little nose paperclip guy. No, he's
that's season 2, though. I can't believe you didn't like Mike's cameo and his character in episode 1.
That was okay, but I did already know about that stuff. But sadly, the joke I liked the most was the one I'd seen the most on Twitter, which is, I love kids, Charlie. I love kids. Pim, I don't think
don't shout that, man.
Your lungs. and there's just some guy in the background
Yeah, you see that. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna mention the guy being mean, you're so old. Why are you here, old guy? Go with your family. Old guy. So
like that.
Meanwhile, the guy himself looks ironically very old. The man who's roasting him.
I will say though, episode 4 was one of my favorites from a visual standpoint. It's the Halloween episode. I think that one was very well done. Yes,
I did watch that one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because that one is not really a comedy episode. That was just a scary episode with a giant punchline at the very end. Dude, is that blackface too?
I was actually surprised they went with the scary. I thought it was going to be one of those dumb, he was being chased by a normal person the whole time or something, one of those gags. I'm like, no, he actually was very close to dying and actually narrowly escaped not dying.
Yeah, I felt scared in that episode, which is why I was impressed.
I like
I was like, whoa.
The Hobbit animation parody episode.
He hasn't gotten there yet, but yeah.
Or that Bilbo style animated guy is like following them around.
He's
and
straight
then, like,
up,
the
yeah,
clip at
straight
end
up
is so funny.
the Hobbit style, yeah. I would say you could, if it's a bite-sized show anyways. Each episode's 10 minutes, so it's not like you're committing too much. So I would say keep on watching it, see if you like it as it goes on.
I think season 2 is way better. I'm just gonna throw it out there. I think season 2
really,
I way more for me. Yeah.
I object to that, but I do love it. Season 2, I just think season 1.
You always object to my season 2 is better.
No, that was just Young
Sonic
Justice.
being a contrarian. He's like,
Justice.
this thing. Oh, Devora. I like Devora.
Shut
I
up!
Like
That is not
Sindel. Oh,
What
typical
the-
contrarian
When
Sonic.
did I say I like? What is this gaslighting, guys? Unbelievable. Speaking of being political, guys, do you want to talk about the gender swap? I saved that up for 10 minutes.
Glad you asked.
No, I think we should answer another question before we get to that.
Okay.
Oh, really? All right.
Yeah,
all right.
because this is the Q&A special, and we've answered 2 questions in an hour. Come on.
Fair. Okay. I actually really wanted to talk about this question because I think this one was really interesting. This was asked by Mips, and is it a dragon picture? I'm not too sure. But Mips here says, no, it's not a dragon. Is it a dragon? It's like a bird. Anyways, honestly, for each person, what's your favorite and least favorite part of being a primarily Mortal Kombat content creator? I don't know if you want to specify Mortal Kombat, but that is our biggest thing. So yeah, like a Mortal Kombat content creator, essentially.
Sonic, start your Street Fighter sucks and your Tekken 8 sucks arc. Hit them all.
Right? One day. I really want to do.
Make fun of the new
Tekken
characters
7
in Tekken 8
sucks
being.
Tekken 7 sucks from Sonic RXD. Sounds like it'd be an amazing video.
Oh gosh, I want to probably tackle Tekken 8 first, just because that's the newest one. If I ever do something like that.
And I think if you did Tekken 8, your strongest plan of attack would be to do the new characters and do like what you did with Frost or Kotal Khan, how like they do nothing in the story mode or they actively make it worse. Because there's a couple characters in. I had this thought the other day in the car just while driving, just random driving thoughts. I was like, I love the gameplay and character like style of Azucena. I think she looks cool, but I don't get what her goal is. Like, and I realized, oh wait, a lot of new fighting game characters, like in Tekken and Street Fighter, they have like depth to them, but they don't have a goal. So their story like won't go anywhere. Like, what's Azucena's goal? She doesn't have one. She's a coffee shop owner. Like, she doesn't have a goal. I'm like, wait, is her goal to expand her coffee empire? I guess maybe, but like,
I think so.
she backs down immediately from that goal when she finds out the person she's fighting is a fan of her coffee. That's all it took for her to not like expand her empire. So like, what's her goal? And then I thought of all the Street Fighter 6 characters who I think have a lot of depth, but I was like, what's their goal? Like, they have depth, but what's their goal? And I couldn't think of any. Like, what's Manon's goal? I have no idea. I know what she is. She's a fashion model. She's a ballerina. She's a martial arts Olympic champion. That's all great, but what's her goal?
You know, dog. I think you should make a video of this.
Yeah,
You could.
If you want to.
Yeah.
Of course, you put like a newish MK character in the thumbnail just to get the views, but you can focus on these other series as well. Here's these Street Fighter characters who are poo-poo caca. They're not very good. Here's why.
No, to be fair, I'm not gonna say like that. I made a joke before, like I never actually showed anybody this, but I made a full-on script of Street Fighter's characters all having the same goal in the old games, which is kill Bison. Or defeat
basically.
Bison. Like a huge chunk of like 10 plus characters, that's their actual goal. And the joke was that Ryu's usually the one who beats Bison, and he's the only one whose goal is to not get revenge on Bison, like doesn't even know Bison on a personal level. But he's always the one who's allowed to beat Bison. I made a whole script for that, and they all had their own reasons to want to kill Bison, and it just kept getting more and more extreme, because some people have been way more slighted by Bison than others, but then when they go in the room to finally fight him, he's already been KO'd by Ryu, and he's like, I did it.
I actually feel like from a character analysis standpoint, it's like, for a story at least, you do want your characters to have goals for like an objective. But I don't necessarily think by adding that or not having it, it like necessarily means it's a detriment, Especially like, I'm trying to think in Street Fighter 6, it's like, isn't this a world, I mean now obviously not really, but at least isn't it kind of like Street Fighter 6 is a world where kind of like the main threat has been handled, which as you just said, everyone's goal is to kill Bison. So after that, then what do? oh, maybe
Well,
just be a
Bison
chef.
came back, so I guess you kill him again.
That's what I mean. That's like afterwards. It's like now maybe this doesn't work out, but even back then it was like, Luke is just being like a mentor. Maybe that is his goal only, or like people just want to chill. It's not necessarily saying like that's too bad of a thing. Like for now, essentially.
Well,
it's a thing to
wouldn't
think
be
about.
accepted like if it's every new character is when it starts to be an issue, in my opinion, because like most
in
of the
Tekken
new
8, I
characters
would
have
agree
that
with
problem.
you.
Yeah.
In Tekken 8, it's like you have a rich history of these characters. You have like 7 games, and it's like in Tekken 8, it's like we don't care. We're just gonna focus on Jin. What are their goals? We don't care. It's all about Jin and like some characters too. But like in Street Fighter 6, I'm just like World Tour does seem kind of chill for most of these characters.
Yeah.
They're just kind of like being teachers. They're retiring in a way. So I think it depends on the setting. Because obviously in Mortal Kombat, everyone has their goal. It's called save the world, save their country, like these extreme goals essentially. But when it's a setting where it's not like something that extreme is happening, like even like in Fatal Fury, like the new one, like City of Wolves, it's like we don't know the story there yet, but the big threat Geese hasn't handled. So it's like maybe they won't have that big of a goal. It's just like, oh, that's just fight. I just have a fighting trend and stuff like that.
Just something to chew on, though. Like for a possible video
I
you
think
could
it's...
make. Anyway, we stole this from you completely. You were saying the pros and cons.
Oh no, we're just talking. Why did we start this? Oh, we were talking
It was about what are the benefits and downsides of being a primarily MK YouTuber.
Yes, we started this conversation because you said Sonic, it's time to start for your Tekken and Street Fighter like suck series and stuff like that. I remember now that that's our Kombat Kings. We go on our tangents. Favorite thing and least favorite
People love it
thing.
Apparently.
People
love our tangents. Apparently, I hate them. When I listen to them, it makes me cringe and want to die. But that's probably because I'm so task based. I'm like a workaholic. So getting off task like drives me up a fucking wall. But that's okay though. It's not about me. I'm not the one watching it. Everyone else is. I do watch it, but everyone else is watching it more.
Yeah, Kombat Kings to me is like. I want to make the task stuff would be for me on the main channel, but since this is like the podcast,
oh my god, guys, we've got to start inviting lol cows on. We got to like bring 6 Erican on here.
No,
we got to bring freaking low tier god on here.
Sneeko, Boogie.
No, not Sneeko. They got to be fighting game related.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they gotta be like
Sneeko fights in real life and just always loses. He's the LTG of real life.
True.
Fighting
Unlike Neon, who runs away from the fights as fast as he can and goes, "I'm sorry."
If real life was a fighting game, Sneeko is the character low tier god would play.
I thought you were gonna do an actual like character that represents him, and I thought you were gonna say Dan, and I was like, no, Dan runs away because he's smart enough to actually not fight people that are too tough.
Dan has a weird kind of charisma. Sneeko doesn't.
Yes, he does. No, Dan does. I'm still mad that he was in Street Fighter V because I'm like, good God, it could have been anybody else. But I do admit that Dan has a charm.
Okay, question, right? So, I guess, I'll be honest though, this question, I really like this question, but depending on the day and the mood, I think it always would change, because there's a lot of angles and a lot of things that go into content creating and stuff. But so I guess for now, I can think of my favorite thing is really that this enables me to do one of my favorite things ever. I love editing videos since I was 10, and I've been nonstop doing it, and then now that I've gotten popular from doing it, now I can just keep doing it, essentially. I can just keep making videos, keep editing, keep doing funny edits, and the audience watches it. And because I have an audience who watches it and supports me, I get to do more of these things. So I love it. Sometimes it can be very tiring to spend 3 days rotoscope, putting a freaking target on each of the ones that Sindo has to kill and all. But it makes for a very epic a minute edit, essentially. So I enjoy doing these sort of things. So yeah, literally making these videos is one of my favorite things, and seeing the audience's reactions is my favorite thing about being a content creator. I'm not a big fan of receiving criticism that I'm not interested in interacting with. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense. If I get criticism about my videos, or maybe they don't agree with me on certain points and whatnot, I'll be like, sure. I might even react. I might even respond to this person. I might, because I get a lot of criticism on my videos all the time, and I like to respond. I like to see them all the time. But then I get criticisms that just feel like somehow I'm involved with something that I don't really care about. Like I get like I said before, like I've gotten like, because ever since I started the series talking about Mortal Kombat 1 in a more positive light, I just get people criticizing my opinions about it, not whether or not the game is good or not, and they just kind of be like, wow, like stop shilling for the game, dude. It's like, how dare you, like, what are they paying you underneath and stuff like that? What are you supporting Baby Inc and stuff? And I'm just like, I'm just talking about the story mode, guys. I'm just talking about things that I like. It's like,
those
it's
people
not
are
that deep.
stupid, dumb assholes, and their opinions literally do not matter to anybody on this planet. Fuck
And it
'em.
literally is like 1% of my comments, honestly. So I really should not care. It just kind of always pisses me off whenever I see them, and especially after I'm done with this reptile video, because I've said this before. Like, I start to feel downhill with the story mode after Chapter 7. So my titles will become like Mortal Kombat 1 sucks. And part of me is like, yeah, I'm excited to start shit talking this game, but at the same time, I kind of feel a little bit lame that these people who have been like annoyed that I'm liking Mortal Kombat 1 are gonna get a win now because I'm going to start doing what they want. You know, a part of me like feels this begrudging feeling like I don't want to give this to them, but like, yeah, that's just like currently how I feel. I feel like depending on the year, I would have different opinions about this, but currently I'm just annoyed by these criticisms that just feel out of place and I just don't want to interact with. Yeah.
That's how I felt making my video. I mainly covered it to have a different perspective, but the MK11 versus MK1, where I praised what MK11 did better, that video like hurt my soul to make, because even though I brought up points that are true, I still love MK1 and I don't really like MK11 anymore. Like I hate it the more I look back on it. It looks pretty though. I'll say it looks very pretty. I like that it looks pretty.
It does.
It has some characters that are never coming back, probably like Frost and you know.
You say that she's a cameo, haha.
Yeah, but I mean as a fully playable character, probably not coming back. Scarlet, probably not for a long ass time.
I don't believe that. I think Scarlet will come back soon.
Frost isn't coming back because we have an evil Sub-Zero currently. Unless they make Frost a good guy, like it's like,
yeah, give her long hair.
Like mechanically, she's irrelevant, and also like her whole cyborg thing was just stolen from Sector anyway. And if Sector's going to be a girl, then why even bother bringing Frost back at all?
Hey, spoilers. Actually,
imagine Frost has the same origin as like Captain America. She's like all scrawny and weak, but she gets a super soldier serum. I don't know, it'd be kind of cute and interesting. So did you finish, Sonic?
I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. That's why I'm giving you guys
I think
the table.
for me, the biggest downside, obviously, is the blood and avoiding the demonetization, because I quite literally can't even play ranked matches. I will get demonetized. That's all it takes. I can cut out the fatal blows and the fatalities. Doesn't matter. Just the gameplay itself will get me demonetized.
So random.
It's insanity. Yeah. I even got demonetized for a split second, which is just ridiculous. The idea that like 1 second of a video can get your entire thing demonetized, it was like legit from 3 seconds to 4 seconds. The fact that that can happen is insane to me, and YouTube should definitely give an option to just make the screen go black or something, like for that one part, if they're that bothered by it. You know, let me keep my monetization. Because
you
for anyone
can
not aware,
actually.
you can get demonetized a week late sometimes, or like 3 days late. Like, so initially you're not demonetized, so you think all is good, and then you get hit, and you're like, no, this video did so well, why am I getting demonetized now, you know? All that happened was, there's that scene in, like, Chapter 15 when the combat kids come down, and not even the decapitation, that I get, like, being too far. It's just when for a split second, Cassie shoves her knife into someone's head, and there's barely even any blood, because it's just so fast, that got me demonetized.
Damn.
And I was like, what? So now I put a little logo over it whenever it happens, like a little smiley face or a little MK logo. But the fact you have to like dodge it that hard is crazy to me. There is a workaround, of course. I could play exclusively on PC and do like a mod that makes the blood greener for everybody or something. That'll probably fix it. But I just
I don't know
hate
about
that they even do
cutscenes
that.
though.
It kind of sucks, you know, because there's so many worse things on YouTube that are monetized. You know, than just gameplay. It's a video game at the end of the day. I hate that we're like treating it like it's a real thing. So that's the annoying thing. That's the hurdle.
I actually 100% think that this is very relatable for Mortal Kombat content creators too, because this is literally something that we have to deal with more than like 90% of like other video games out there. I'm sure there's still violence and you gotta censor in like COD or other maybe gory shooters, but Mortal Kombat is one of them that you genuinely have to be always prepared with your KK in a wheelchair sensor bar and stuff.
And it's one of those annoying things that I hate to even ask for, because it's like asking a fast food burger restaurant to add salad to their menu. But I really do think that for the next game, NetherRealm definitely actually needs to have a bloodless option. I know it sucks because it goes against everything that the series stands for. It's all about being gory and fuck the establishment. But the reality is, I can't cover your game anymore, because if MK2 has the same leap in graphics that MK1 and MK11 had, then we're screwed. It's going to look like real life. And we're never going to be able to make any money. So like, there's definitely going to have to be like an
option.
A bloodless
Literally
mode.
just an option.
If NetherRealm does care about their community and their content creators, they will offer this as an option. Because the fact they haven't really... I'm not going to say that they don't care about the community at all, but it doesn't paint a good picture of the way they view their community and like and what they can provide for the company and the franchise by covering it and showcasing all the cool stuff in it. If they're not going to help us out so that we can continue making a living, it feels like taking advantage more than anything.
It's like for some. I remember I saw a tweet from them, basically saying like, we can't because it will take away like an integral part of it, and it's like even as an option, it's like I don't know. I just feel like a lot of games they do have an option. You know, like Bayonetta 3 recently, like 2 years ago, came out. It was like you literally can have, you know, the original rated R, like whenever she changes, she goes naked version, or she doesn't. You can literally have that as an option. It's like it just
even
helps.
Dead or
honestly.
Alive has the option to turn off the jiggle. All right. If they're willing to let you turn off the jiggle, and that's like their main selling point is all the jiggle physics and stuff. So even Street Fighter 6 has battle damage, and it's not M-rated, but they're clearly bleeding and bruised up and swollen, you know, black eyes and stuff.
And that's
they
an
get a little
option.
bit scuffed.
Yeah, it's not even the default.
You can turn it off. Apparently you can turn it off. I didn't know that. I thought it was just on by default. You can turn it off.
Oh, I thought it was off by default. Is it on by default?
Oh, well, either way, you can choose to turn it on or off, which is cool. The non-M-rated game has the option to turn off the blood. I'm just saying that'd be a really cool feature for Mortal Kombat 1. So that's the biggest issue for me is the avoiding the blood. I think what I like the most, I guess, about covering mostly MK1, although back in the day I covered all the fighting games. Just like a couple years ago I covered all of them. But I will say what's cool is that because Mortal Kombat 1 is an M-rated game, it opens up what topics I can cover without it feeling like bizarre to talk about. Like when I made the Rule 34 tier list, that would have been considered very bizarre for games that are not already adult themed. Like Street Fighter would have been kind of weird to do that. It was still weird, even for Mortal Kombat. But I can still argue, hey guys, look at what game we're playing. Like this game has been sexualizing people for like 3 decades straight. Let's not pretend. Also, theoretically, if not for YouTube, I could cuss all I wanted to as well, because it's an M-rated game. But YouTube stops me from cursing, so I don't curse. Except in this podcast. Wink.
Da 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 da.
Oh, also they have games more often. That's also better than covering different fighting games. Like I have a buddy, Vesper Arcades, who used to still only cover Street Fighter mostly, and he was eating good with Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5. But then like with 6, he's been kind of out here starving because they don't add content for like months. He's just starving for new stuff.
What are you talking about? They always add costumes for your avatar.
For your avatar.
For your avatar.
Well, for me, the worst part is definitely that crushing feeling when I make something that's not MK, or I think DC stuff tends to do pretty well just because it's connected through Injustice, and then some other series like Resident Evil tends to do pretty well. But most of the things I talk about just doesn't do well at all, and so
I get that, yeah.
And so it really does make me feel like people aren't here for me; they're here for MK. And that's soul crushing. I mean, of course, it's great that I can make a living off it. I mean, I make more with this than I do with my day job, and so it can help to fund my various addictions.
And slap Lady Demetress's ass with a fly swatter.
VR slap.
Yeah, so obviously that part's great. So I'm not just gonna gripe about it because I feel like that generally does kind of outweigh the other stuff. It just means it's just like I can't just freely cover the stuff I want to talk about because it's like I need to make a living out of this, so I need to always go back to MK when, like, if I talk about DOA or Soul Calibur or Tekken, it just doesn't do as well.
Yeah,
but that's one of the things that's going to apply to like most franchises or topics a person covers, where that's the thing you become known for, and so everything else just doesn't do as well, unfortunately. So it's not just an MK thing, but yeah.
Yeah, I think out of all three of us, because I knew this like very early on, like even when I started getting more popular, it's like eventually I went through a phase of being like, people aren't here for me, they're here for my videos, they're here for my editing, essentially. If I turn on the camera and start talking, they're not gonna care. Like I kind of knew about that very early on since my YouTube career. I think I mean, oh, thank you very much. Like that's kind of why a lot of like, of course, I have tons of ideas myself that I love to do. I usually just shelve them or like just talk about it on the podcast, essentially, because I know they are not gonna do well. But unless if it's something that I really yeah. To be fair, I was successful with that back in the day.
I was jealous when you saw success with that. I was like, damn it, he can do it all. This man cannot fail.
But on a serious note, though, out of all three of us, I would say probably true underdog as a how do I say this? Not like a mascot, but as the guy to come and watch for. I think true underdog is the most like relevant out of all of us, the three of us. And I'm not just saying that because of your subscriber count. I'm more saying that because you're using the face cam more often, and people watch it and be like, that's true underdog and stuff like that. Whereas like
shows
I think if they watch me or
does FGC events sometimes, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
whereas like me and Snake, it's like that's the content creator that's like the thing I'm watching I like, but it's not like the person I'm watching. You know what I mean? Like I feel like dog is the most relevant out of all of us.
even like the hate that we get sometimes. It's like people like I get hate on Reddit every now and then. Sonic very occasionally does, and when he does, those people are stomped into the dirt like the peons they are. And then with dog, it's like every other week. There's like, true underdog, clickbait, cringe, aha, loser, whatever.
What do you do this time?
No. So it's like even the hate is relevant. You feed him, you make him powerful by hating him. You fools, you're playing into his hands.
I wish. I take it personally every time. And also, what's worse too is that because I do the face cam and I like to act to emote to make it fun. You know, I very much try to like keep the energy of like the angry video game nerd or whatever. Just not in the sense that I'm angry, but I'm trying to keep like energy.
Yeah, you're active.
Right? I'm not just reading the news. I'm like, hey, how's it going, guys? Today we have cool news to talk about, right? But as a result, if I ever make a goofy face, like, oh, for my skit, people will screenshot that and then put in the thumbnail and then like say something negative about me, like caught lying, or I'm like doing the face. I'm like, no, damn it.
You know, those people
be way
should
less powerful if you couldn't use my face against me.
Those people should watch the Kombat Kings podcast, Shona Dog, because you do too many faces. They're so good for our thumbnail on this Kombat Kings podcast. I use all of them all the time.
Yeah, guys, watch our podcast and get all the screen grabs before you start slandering Dog.
I do what he got, but I can't cross my eyes.
Be a true hater. Watch 3 hours of our podcast.
I was gonna say the Street Fighter 6 battle damage apparently doesn't work online, which kind of makes sense why I didn't notice it when I was playing online all the time. You don't get to have the battle damage. Weird.
And just to close off, the thing I like
your
the
favorite
most,
thing.
Yeah, it's obviously the money's nice.
Of course. Come on now. Yes,
I can go as far as get custom emblem rings from Fire Emblem and get a little box with a light in it to go in it.
Oh my gosh! There's even like a light in that. Wow.
Not as expensive as you think it was, but I can get stuff like this, and it's very cool. So that's obviously good. But the other part, that is, I'd say it depends on the day which one I prefer more. It's the community aspect. Because if I weren't an MK content creator, wouldn't have met Sonic, wouldn't have met Dog or like Babe Ruthless, Brush Poets. I wouldn't have gotten a chance to interact with Wooly. So when I watched for like a decade, like,
yes,
and then you know the ability to some small degree use my influence to kind of get more eyes on these smaller creators and try and bring them up. That part is really cool. And I just wish I had more power to get more eyes on these creators. So get more people to subscribe to me. So when I make a video and say, go watch this person, more people will see that and go and watch that person. And make me more powerful so I can make more other people more powerful. That's the message.
Yes. That is awesome.
I would raise these two up, but they're way bigger than I am and have been for like 5 years.
I'm trying to raise you up, Snake, with how many cameos I keep putting in.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I was like, because when you got that that VTuber watching your video, you mentioned the Ermac video, and I was like, oh, so a VTuber knows about my content now, hooray.
Oh, yes, maybe the Goth Mermaid might check you out too.
Nah, but I do appreciate that a lot, yes.
It's totally awesome. I think yeah, the community is very fun, very loving. I don't promote a lot of content creators, but I do love promoting fan art. So every time you see a fan art in my video, I'll be like, this person who drew it, and I actually get a lot of the people on Twitter will be like, yo, I'm in a Sonic XD video, so I'm like, oh, that's wholesome to see that and stuff.
You don't even try and fit it in. It's just you talk about Shang Tsung and his reptile like snogging your character. It's got nothing to do with the video. It's just there.
I put a fan art of like my character usually at the beginning just to be like, oh, thanks for the fan art and stuff like that. I just see some people do that. I got that from Power Cynical because he does that.
Doing a little JoJo pose.
Yeah, yes. Your biggest inspiration, a furry. Of course, Mr. Scaly.
My biggest inspiration. My biggest inspiration's a British.
Me.
Speaking of fan art, I finally got more dating sim Mortal Kombat fan art from our boy.
Oh yes.
I felt a bit bad though because I think he doesn't realize his amazing talent because I wanted him to make more if he wanted, and he's like, oh, I don't want to persist too much. I don't want to rip you off. And I was like, is that what he means? I wasn't quite sure. There's a bit of a language barrier. I'm like, does he think that I don't love the art and don't want all of it? I want all the art. I will pay for all of the MK dating sim art. And I don't even give him the prompt. I just say, pick a character and like go with the setting. And he makes up like already 2 bangers. We got Shiva at the gym and we got Melina at a fast food burger restaurant. I love it.
Wait, I remember you did mention the Shiva fan art in your video, but you didn't show it because it was too late. When are you going to plan on showing
it? It was too late, you fuckers. You're too late. You're too slow.
My fault. It was in the chat. You can look it up in the history. I didn't even grab it from my folders.
I searched Shiva and I couldn't find it.
I think I searched dating or something like that. Or like your response, one of those things.
Maybe that would have worked.
What I was going to ask was, when are you going to share the Melina like fan art in your video?
I guess whenever I get the first chance, why not? I'll put it in my next video.
But yeah, I thought that interaction is pretty funny. But yeah, pretty awesome.
I only mentioned because I know he watches the podcast, so now they know, like,
hey,
I want more art. I love it. I love all the art. Send me all the... If you ever get bored and just like, I don't know what to draw, I'll give Underdog another dating sim Mortal Kombat.
No!
Yes.
No, you don't show Underdog. If he's bored, he doesn't. He usually randomly might draw some scaly stuff. Okay, don't inspire him.
Let's meet halfway. Do Chameleon as the next one.
Has he done Chameleon? I'm not sure.
No, I already thought of her pickup line. I already thought of Chameleon's response, like when you like win her heart, she'd be like, "You make me feel comfortable in my own skin." I feel like I can be myself around you. And she's drinking one of those old, discontinued Sobe energy drinks. The ones that had the little dragon on them. Do y'all remember those? The Sobe? Those little glass bottle, like, energy drinks? No? They were all the rage here in fucking America. Then out of nowhere, they just died off. They just got discontinued.
Sobe energy drink.
Sobe. It's spelled like S-O-B-E.
Yeah. I don't think nope, we don't have... We're not really big with, like, energy drinks over here.
It's gotta be this one. If he chooses to make the Chameleon one, I want her to be drinking this.
Because there's a dragon on it.
The 2 lizards. Yeah.
Yeah. I think over here, of course we have some energy drinks, but it's not like the biggest selling point. We sell, like, tea. Like, that's like the biggest thing that we have over here. We have like the I don't know exactly how to call them, but it's like the Kombat tea. Sure, yes. That was a
Living
very fun
forest
question.
tea leaves.
I don't know how good that would be. It would be good if it's before Ermac was created in Mortal Kombat 1. You know, that living forest seemed very nice.
Another great dialogue option for Chameleon in the dating sim could be like, "What? You want to see my dragon form or my lizard form? Maybe later." She's all coy about it. What? Like a little sweat bead.
I want to.
I like that.
I do like the idea that like, you take Chameleon home, and then she's like, I can finally be my true self, and she's leaning against the door frame in like the reptile-esque lizard form, maybe just like slightly wider hips, slightly like larger chest, and she's like that, wearing like sexy lingerie over that lizard form, and she's got her makeup done and everything.
Just imagine it's completely the same as Reptile. But just like all with the makeup stuff, yeah.
Actually,
bad.
I'm pretty sure Midway made Ms. Pac-Man, which would make it a funny reference if you had like the reptile with just like a little bow, and it's like that's Chameleon. It's like it's calling back to the origins of MK.
A long time ago, before I forgot when I made this, but the point is, I was kind of like just saying like, here's Chameleon's like lizard form, and I posted this on Twitter a long time ago.
Yeah, the yassified reptile.
We came up with like the ideas and stuff.
I hate it. I hate that she's so ratchet. She's doing all the ghetto makeup and nails and stuff.
Yes.
Though I will say, as much as I don't find those nails to be very attractive, it does feel very good when your girl is like just casually like just scratching your head with that, or like just like giving you a little back scratch with those nails. It feels pretty good.
So
I'm
next
not gonna
question, Sonic.
Next question.
Wow. Okay. Fine.
But do you want to continue the scratching conversation,
No.
dog?
Sorry, that should have stayed a thought bubble, not a speech bubble.
You know, while I'm looking for the question here, how about we talk about the topic essentially, the only topic we kind of prepared is
The gender swaps.
the gender swap. That's what I'm
Is
setting
it the
up.
ketchup and mustard? Yeah. Okay.
So just to be clear, by the way, if you don't want to get spoiled about leaks, because this is more like leak section of stuff, then skip ahead. But it's not like the biggest leak.
True.
Everyone's talking about it. It's like if I said like that certain horror mascot is like gonna be DLC. Like everybody kind of knew about that. So 3, 2, 1, yes, Ghostface DLC. So that's what I'm saying here basically for like the spoiler parts. But no, we're talking about the
And also returning characters too getting spoiled also, because if you didn't look at the that, then you wouldn't know either. Well, there's like 2 DLC characters that we know are gonna also swap, but they haven't been officially announced yet as DLC. So that would also be a spoiler.
So what is the evidence for this supposed gender swap of Sector and Cyrax? Is it just voice files where they got women clips?
So with Cyrax, it's voice files. I don't even know if Sector has the voice files. I think with Sector, it's more so that like there's dialogue that gives away that he's a lady. Like they mentioned straight up in the script, like, oh, Cyrax, she's waiting. Or Sector, she's waiting. That kind of thing. Like, oh, Sector, she's guarding the gates. Like something like that. That just gives away that they're straight up a chick.
And also there is literally files that say like Cyrax and Sector in the game, but it's like the files I think is one of the biggest things as to why like they're females probably.
I think it's too
with
soon.
Cyrax, it is voice files though. She goes, "Halakbakata, hashikakata."
I do think it's too soon.
Like her little gibberish.
I think it's too soon currently to say that they are gender swaps because, I mean, Scorpion is a different person. It could just be a different person in the role. It's entirely possible that we'll see that. Oh, Cyrax has a brother back in. I forget the country they're from. Like she's got a brother back home, and then he rocks up and he's just dressed
China?
like MK9. No,
Okay.
Cyrax is Botswana. That's it. So it's like,
okay.
Botswana is back home and he just rocks up dressed exactly like he was in MK9, and it's like that's him. He's not Cyrax anymore. He's suffered enough. Liu Kang gave him a reprieve. Someone else became Cyrax in this timeline.
I mean, it could be a code name. That's entirely possible. I'll just say that, like, the Thinny himself, even, I reached out in the DMs and I was like, okay, people in my comments section are saying that so-and-so is a lady. Is there actual confirmation of this, or is it just speculation? And he straight up told me, confirmed via data files. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we know for a fact that, like, even Sector, he said, was also a lady. Now, it could be a code name, like you're saying. Maybe, like, the main Sector and Cyrax are off on a mission in a different country, and then like in their stay, here's their apprentices or whatever. That's entirely possible. I think it's even more likely that NetherRealm just wanted to try something, and they were like, Sector and Cyrax have been popular, but not like popular with a capital P. What if we make them ladies? Will that give more people to play them? Or some people in the comments have said it could just be an ESG score thing. They're checking boxes and getting BlackRock money. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like I would say like it could be a codename, but thinking this is NRS, it's like they are very bad with containing their leaks. So I really think the possibilities are way higher that now Sector and Cyrax are ladies. And what's up, Snake?
You know how in MK11 Frost was basically Sector?
In the plot, yeah.
And we haven't seen her in this timeline yet. What if she
Except
literally
for a cameo fighter, but yeah.
But the actual version, what if she literally is Sector in this timeline?
That'd be funny, but how would you prove it? Because she doesn't have a human name, does she?
I mean, she might have ice powers still. Basically,
that'd be cool.
Mix
You bring up a
Sector.
good point, Snake. I've been wondering like how they're going to play, because the cameo characters already do all of their iconic attacks, and typically the cameos have some completely different like gameplay element they bring to the table, right? Like how Kung Lao has the teleport, and traditional hat spin, and the new Kung Lao doesn't. That way he's set apart. I'm really confused what they're going to do with Sector and Cyrax, since the Kameo characters do legitimately all their most iconic shit. Like the flamethrower, the teleports, the net, the buzzsaw, all that shit. Like, what are they going to give them?
Imagine if instead of the flamethrower, it's an ice thrower. And like the missiles, the missiles freeze people. It's like taking bits from Sector, Cyber Sub-Zero, and Cyber Frost and putting them in a blender.
If it does actually turn out being Frost, that'd be dope as shit. And then imagine fucking...
Really?
Because we already know that Cyrax is also a lady. Imagine Jax is like, that's my girl! That's my girl, look at her go! And it's fucking Jackie in the fucking like golden armor just kicking ass.
So, I think there's a huge issue with this.
There are several issues, don't get me wrong.
Of course. But one of my big issues of thinking about this is I don't think the name Sector or Cyrax is a code name, right?
It clearly are.
You think so?
What are we talking about?
What Chinese man names his son Sector?
No, I meant like that's an English name is what I'm saying. I'm not... Okay, yeah, here's the thing though. Chinese people have a Chinese name. But sometimes they have an English name for the Americans to be able to understand it better, you know? It's like my Chinese name, my English name isn't Shi Shuoya, you know? I obviously have like an English name because that would be easier for everybody, you know? So, of course, Sector's Chinese name and English name aren't going to be like, you know, he's not going to be like, yeah. So, that's what I mean because I'm thinking like, because obviously Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Smoke, these are code names, but Sector and Cyrax don't really sound like a code name, right?
They do. It sounds like it's a code name made for a cyborg.
The only issue is we've never been given their human names, unlike Scorpion and Sub-Zero is like the only issue. I do think they're still code names because they're just one name and never given like anything else. Has there been any lore, by the way, Snake, because you're the lore guy? Did they ever even try to explain how Cyrax is like part of the Lin Kuei, which is Chinese, but he's just a black guy? Did they ever even try to explain?
Not as far as I know. It may have been like an MK9 bio, but this is something that because History Behind the Warrior did a video about this as well, and he showed Sector's MK3 bio, and it says Sector is actually the code name for Unit LK99.
Okay. In that case, Frost can be Sector based off of the fact that it's a code name. Okay. You know what?
It doesn't specify for Cyrax, but presumably that is also the case.
You know what's really funny is I thought maybe because I heard Cyrax as a name because that's the dragon in House of the Dragon. That dragon's called Cyrax. So I was thinking like, so Cyrax is a name then, right?
Well, there is that one infamous like YouTuber or streamer named Cyrax in real life, but I don't know if that's any correlation.
And that's a lolcow we need to get on here because of the overlap with...
True. We'll make him cosplay as Cyrax. How does it feel they named a Mortal Kombat character after you and just gaslight him the whole time?
Anyways, sorry, I'm going on like a long tangent, but basically, I mean, the chances of that happening are pretty low, but it's interesting to speculate if Frost is Sector and Jackie is like Cyrax, which I doubt they would change that.
I want that to be true now. I want that to be true.
It would be really funny.
See, none of them would never go this deep, but imagine if like this causes like a rift to divide between like the different clans and shit when they find out that the special forces have been giving technology to the Lin Kuei. And it's like, Liu Kang, were you dealing under the table this whole time? You were giving ammunition to our enemies? Our economy was failing. We needed funding.
Another thing to keep in mind is, so we already have Takeda, who is clearly not from this timeline. He's from the future or an alternate timeline.
Yeah.
It's entirely possible and potentially even likely that Sector and Cyrax are just from another universe, another timeline.
Damn.
Somewhere else where they're female. Because I mean, it could even just be like the fusion versions. It could be like the versions in the story are going to be... We don't know what the followers of Havik are called. Is it Quan Chi? Is it Sub-Zero? Is it something in between? We don't know. Mm-hmm. So Sector and Cyrax could literally be Sector is also Frost. Cyrax is also Tanya. Well, not Tanya, but she's already taken. But like she also could be Jackie, could be Melina, could be Jade. All sorts of things. So
interesting.
That is... So... Unless we can identify the voice actors and say, oh, well, this person also plays this person in the game. Oh, that's Sarah Cravens who was Frost in MK11, so she's Sector. Unless we can identify that, there's really no way to know for sure until NetherRealm reveals more or they fuck up and leak more. Which I'm putting money on the latter, to be honest. But
I really do think the moment like Takeda is out, and because when's EVO again? Like the date? I mean, did you just say?
Oh, I forget to. I need to look that up.
Yo, are you going?
You're going. You should make sure.
I know. I'm bad about that.
July 19th to July 21st. Okay, so not necessarily exactly when Takeda comes out, but I feel like they would. I think we're gonna get like a Kombat Pack 2 like announcement very soon, and because the last time we got Kombat Pack 1, before the game even came out, we already knew the DLC. I think they're gonna do that again. I think they're just gonna like everybody stand in front of the desert.
Imagine,
stand in front of the desert and do the pose.
Imagine you get to the end of the next season of Invasions, instead of it being next season, whatever, it's like Kombat Pack 2, and that's how you get the reveal.
Oh, that'd be cute. But I think that'd be spoiled very soon on Twitter immediately. But yeah, I think we're gonna get information about this very soon. So I'm gonna be honest. I love your idea, Snake. If this is Sector and Cyrax from a different universe, all the complaints would be much more like subdued. I don't know, like it would be way more like lowered down, because current universe character gender swap is what is making people be like, But if you're saying multiverse, like that could work.
I wouldn't be surprised if
Cyrax comes in.
I wouldn't be surprised if every DLC character after this is a multiverse version.
The issue with that is literally in Sub-Zero's arcade ending, they're setting up the Cyberlin Quay.
Yeah.
So it's like, how could they not be from their universe, you know?
They're probably gonna do the opposite. They'll make it to where in the new timeline, the main timeline, Sector and Cyrax are women, but we'll see like in a different timeline, or like in the Chaos timeline, they're men like they normally would be.
Well, they're just gonna be the Kameo fighter version. They're just gonna be like the MK.
Yeah, they'll probably do something like that.
Robots, basically.
It really is so weird to like. I understand making Sector and Cyrax cameos if they're not going to be in the main game, but then like knowing that the DLC are going to be Sector and Cyrax, it's so funny to commit to them being cameo characters. It could have been anybody else. It could have been like Kira or like No Face. Could have been the flamethrower teleport guy. Would have been dope as shit. No Face as a cameo.
I agree with that, but I will say this: those robots, you just need to make one. And then you can make 2 Kameo fighters, and then like the smoke, like cyber smoke, and then all those different color versions that you can do the combat trials in Invasions mode, like that's such a reusable asset, so just make one and then bam, it's like how Kameo Scorpion is like a reused asset for Tremor,
yeah,
yeah. So I think that's just
and
an
Sub-Zero,
easy cameo they decided. Yeah, and I just think that's an easy slot they just put there because it's everybody loves the robots.
One more change to throw out there in case Snake doesn't know this, but it's also pretty confirmed, and I've realized this through multiple sources that I've asked separately. At first, it was just, the new Cyberlin Quay, like the new Sector and Cyrax, are going to be less cyberized, which we kind of already assumed because they have to be able to show their face, so you can do like the eyeball fatalities on them or like the face-related fatalities on them. We kind of already assumed that, but I think it's even been discovered further now that they're not even cyberized at all anymore. They're wearing like Iron Man suits.
Yeah,
is like the new theory.
That's the way it looks in Sub-Zero's ending. Because the face plate is off and it's all hollow inside, which could just be he's crafting it out a shell in preparation for making the cyborg parts. But it's also possible that they are going to go in that direction. Which
don't worry, Sonic. They might still have black blood somehow.
That's what I'm pissed about right now. Yeah, you saw my face. I'm like,
yeah.
What would be really cool actually would be if there just was no blood during normal attacks. You hit them and just sparks come off because you're not getting through. It's only when you get to like this. It's only with like fatal blows you actually like manage to pierce them and the blood comes out.
The only problem now, Snake, with that is if they do have different colored blood to avoid the YouTube censor gods, that would mean that they're going to be the new combo trial dummies, because even in MK9, people all used the cyborgs for the training dummy. And back then, there was no YouTube thing to get around. So people asked, like, why do y'all only like exclusively combo the cyborgs? And they went, oh, it's just way more satisfying to hear the metal tings when you punch them. Instead of, you hear ting tong ting 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 kong kong. Like, it's super loud, it's way more fun.
That's
Yeah,
an
I'm like,
MK1
yeah, I get
too.
it.
Like you actually, even if you do the combo trials, or if you fight against like a cyborg, you do hear the keng 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 like sounds when you hit them. It's very satisfying.
Sounds like you're punching a tin can. But yeah, so let's expand on this a little bit because it turned into a Sector and Cyrax topic. For anyone wondering why like Underdog made a full video on this, in case you haven't watched my channel, because you're here for a better reason to enjoy the Snake and Sonic content, who I admit are superior hosts.
Damn. No, if I
there's
put
not
you on the
just those
thumbnails,
two.
that usually gets more views.
So 5 characters so far that are playable in some way have been confirmed to be gender swaps in Mortal Kombat 1. This includes some of the DLC. But then we have like 3 more non-playable characters that appear in story mode or in intro dialogues that have also been gender swapped, for a total of 8, possibly 9, if you count one of the other characters that I don't count yet because we haven't seen them at all, and we don't get an even name confirmation. It's just like who they're related to. So we don't even know if that's like who that is. It could be someone else, right? But if you count that to be who we think it is, and it's Raiden's sister, by the way. Raiden's sister could be anybody. It doesn't have to be Fujin.
We don't know.
But,
Yeah, exactly.
if,
Yeah,
like
a lot
Snake
of
said,
people
it could
think
be
it's
Cetrion.
Fujin. Yeah, a lot of people think it's Fujin. I think Cetrion would be a better pick.
That'd be badass.
I would like Cetrion too, but we don't know. So we'll see.
And let her still have blue skin. Let her be a freak. She's like ostracized. Like, why am I blue? Kang's like, because you're adopted.
No. Here's what they're
She's
going to
like,
do: is in the crypt, there's that one puzzle where you have to get Shinnok's amulet, Raiden's amulet, and Cetrion's amulet, which never appeared anywhere else. Raiden's going to give that to Raiden's sister, and that's where she'll get her nature powers.
That seems very cute.
Be kind of cool. It'd be really cute to have a good necromancer. Like if she had like Shinnok's powers, but she was like a good girl. Be interesting.
What if
I've
the
only
sister is
seen-
Shinnok the whole time?
That'd be pretty funny. I've only seen
gender
one
swap Shinnok.
story where the necromancer or a lich is a good person, and it's that Konosuba,
Yeah, Wiz.
the big titty
Oh,
lich
I guess
Konosuba.
so.
woman.
I mean, yeah, okay.
But yeah, the point is, I made a whole video about it only because there was so many characters to cover, and I even didn't cover until the very end the other 3 because I was like, that's not. Like, it's already a 12-minute long video without even covering the other 3.
Really, like, big deal gender swap characters. Like, honestly,
Yes.
I think only Cyrax and Sector matter in this conversation. Everyone else kind of just like, okay, Harumi from alternate universe, it's just like, well, yeah, that's like an invasions mode we get one cutscene of, and then like
Harumi is fine. My only gripe with
that's not
Harumi
a gender
is
swap.
that
It's just that's just like Kuai Liang's Scorpion. It's just someone else has the mantle.
it's exactly.
Plus,
to me,
additionally,
yes, but the
it's
reason
like-
it's an issue is that it's lazy, right? It's like creatively lazy because I love the idea of Harumi
Sure.
being a different character, but they made her just Scorpion, like title and everything. That's why it's kind of lame, You could have given her a different badass like bug name or something.
That's what she is in that other universe. In the main universe, she's just a woman in like a kimono with a sword.
Yes.
So
Which is
they
cool.
I'm sure they'll give us some stuff from Scorpion, something similar, but I'm sure she'll mostly be her own thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I'm worried the one we're gonna get though is gonna be the Scorpion one, not the story mode one. But we'll see. Oh, and also we could argue that like even though Janet Cage is not a big deal because she's just a cameo and she's a different timeline, I think we could still at the very least agree that like it's a weird choice. Like you could have done any returning 3D era character as a cameo instead, and you chose Lady Johnny Cage. It's like a very out there thing that nobody asked for. Still kind of weird.
To me, it's not the biggest deal. What annoys me more is that like she is the DLC like cameo Johnny Cage when we were promised regular Johnny Cage and stuff like that, and it's just like, okay, it's literally her moveset would have been if you had classic Johnny Cage anyways, but like her appearing as a character in the final chapter is just like cute, whatever.
And then
I don't think that's a big deal.
And then dying right away. By the way, did you appreciate my joke, Sonic? Because I thought of that while writing the script. I was like, it is interesting how Janet Cage is the only gender-swapped character we see on the good guy side. What did Netherrealm mean by that? The rest are all villains that
She's
show up.
also
Like
on
there's
the
a
bad guy side
lady
too, but
reptile, lady scorpion, lady whatever, and they're all bad.
The lady, the ninjas, all it's easier to put it there basically, but yeah, I get the joke. Yeah, what you're saying.
Even is that supposed to be Evil Sonya or is that Evil Kano that we fight? But it's a lady.
But Sonya.
It is still
Yeah.
Sonya? Okay, she says Kano's eye. Gotcha.
I mean, they took Sonya's MK1 model. That color scheme is even one of her options in the game, and they just put Kano's eye on it.
I just forgot what her name was when you.
I mean, you remember you get when Liu Kang rocks up with Kano's eye. I can't wait for you to wreck off and die. That's not Kano. That's Liu Kang.
Nope, that's Kano. You're wrong. He's got the accent. It's Kano.
Sonya might have the accent. You never know.
Then it's Kano. If they have the accent, then they're Kano by default. I don't care if it's Jax. Okay, if it's Jax with the Australian accent and the metal eye, it's still
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What else do they say? What's other expression he has? I guess just gotcha.
Get over here, Kameo.
Oh yeah.
Nothing more scary
For
than
the
an
Elder
Australian
Gods,
scorpion.
I must consult with the Elder Gods.
Dude, Australian Devora.
I don't know
That
why
joke
it's on
writes
Cockney.
itself because she's like, there's so many spiders in
Oh, I
Australia.
get what you mean. I get it. Yeah.
No.
Australian Devora. I like that as a skin. Kano's
Well, there's already
strongest
that
weapon.
meme that for some reason Devora and Kano are buddies. There's already those like fan arts of them just hanging out playing video games and shit. So
This Kaitins are like, neighbors over here, basically, common folk. You also brought up the dragon, who
Yeah.
I don't think anyone will remember this character. I don't remember the name now of the dragon.
yeah,
Orin or Karo. I don't know which one you were talking
yeah. I
about.
don't remember which one it is either. I hope it's Karo because that's the evil one I think, and Orin's your buddy.
But in the video, you showed the yellow one, so
No, I showed the one that talks to Taven.
that's the good one.
That's the
Right?
good one. Yeah, the red one is evil.
Yeah,
The
so
goldish
you got
one
the-
is-
Well,
the
no,
good one.
neither one is evil.
I
You're
remember
wrong.
They weren't.
No, the red one was enslaved by Dagon and used as the name basis for the red dragon.
True, but a real good guy would have never helped the bad guys even when enslaved.
He didn't have he literally didn't have a choice, and then he like wipes out the red dragon afterwards and dies in the process.
So in that case, Trinidad, by your logic, Katana is a villain.
Yeah. Yes. The fact that Katana was never charged for her crimes actually does bother me a little bit.
Specifically Katana. Okay.
Yeah.
You brought up. I forgot the other three you brought up, but you brought up like the ones that you didn't really mention in your video. You brought up like the bird guy, which I thought that's not 100% in my opinion, because you said that
is true.
Baraka has a mentor, and this mentor is a female, but because there's an interaction that says like Baraka learned the way of the Asgarth, so it's like, is Asgarth the mentor, or is it like it's kind of like how Tanya or the Umgadi would say it's like by Delia's name, or like we fight in Delia, so it's like, oh, so is Delia like the biggest higher up? No, Delia is the goddess that they like pray to and stuff like that. So
Yeah, no, I get you. On the one hand, that's a very valid point. On the other hand, and I think both are correct at the same time, my other counter, if I was to go like full like, edgy or counterpoint, I would say that they purposely went out of their way to mention Asgarth and also make sure the teacher was a lady. So that could be enough to imply to me they want you to think that Asgarth is a lady, because why a lady? It's pretty rare for a martial arts trainer to even be a lady half the time, so it's like, even in Mortal Kombat, it's rare. Until they made Madame Bo and again, with Madame Bo, it's also debatable because we never see Bo Rai Cho, and her name is Madame Bo, so it could be anybody. But the fact that she trained the Shaolin how to fight is already enough proof to me that it's meant to at least embody the essence of Bo Rai Cho, because old person trained the main Shaolin, name's Bo.
What character I think is actually very likely to be a gender swap this time around, technically? Nightwolf.
I was thinking about him too.
Because the amount of setup they had in MK11 where his ending shows a new Nightwolf who's a woman, and they keep mentioning the previous Nightwolf who was a woman, and they mention the Great Spirit as a woman. It's like they keep bringing this in. And so at least with that, there is some basis for it. So I mean, if they did that and it's like, here's Grey Cloud, like this old man who mentors her, I could accept that.
I think
wouldn't mind
Nightwolf
that too
being a
much.
lady is like, I would really be fine with that, specifically because Nightwolf is a title, and it's like the next Nightwolf, so it's like, if it was a lady, it's like, yeah, it's not like you took the Nightwolf and gender swapped it. It's literally just like, here's a new Nightwolf, basically. But also, dog, I think I think it's really unlikely, because if they want you to know something is coming or something is really hinted at, they will really let you know the intro dialogues. There's like there's only one intro dialogue that you get the name Asgarth. There's about like 5 or 6 that you hear the name Master Kai. Yes, Master Kai in his trainings. Did you go to Master Kai? Yes, I learned a lot from Master Kai. They bring that up like 5 or 6 times in the intro dialogues, like so many. And so I do feel like, or Jay, you know, they bring it up a couple times too. So I do feel like if it's something that's really hinted at that people want to, like, that they're considering, like, it'll be really obvious and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What's up with your facial expressions just then? It sounds like you really
You
keep posting Kano and Devoro.
I know, I love this, like, it's the same artist for most of them, but I wanted to post a few that weren't the same artist, so like, I just wanted to prove that Devora X Kano is, like, for some reason a thing.
So interesting, actually. I think it's kind of cute,
spiders,
yeah.
I guess was the joke.
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about
but
that.
The
But
newest
I think
one
it
is
very
great because it appreciates one of the intro dialogues with Trimmer, where he admits to being
good
a Johnny
movie.
Cage fan.
Yeah.
Finally.
Good.
Some good fucking food.
Yes.
I love the idea of an intro between Tremor and Cyrax, where there's just arguing over the merits of Ninja Mime. No intros talk about the Black Dragon and Lin Kuei. Every single one is about like as if they just made a point. Goes, no, that casting choice was terrible. Yeah, whatever. Fuck you, dude. And they've just been really petty about it. like no, Ninja Mime was an underrated classic. And it's like, oh yeah, what about Ninja Mime 4? We do not mention Ninja Mime 4.
We don't talk about it. We don't talk about Ninja Mime 4.
She's available again. Revenant Katana. I'm going to obtain her because I have enough.
I'm so happy
Good
they
luck.
finally did the human version of the Revenants in MK11 as a outfit, because I always did think they had the best costumes, but I hated the undead skin. So when they combined them, I was like, chef's kiss. Like some of the best outfits I've ever had.
I want human version of Revenant Jade. I want shirtless version of Kung Lao that doesn't have like his dead skin all over it.
Kung Lao is the definition of that, like, you're wearing armor in all the wrong places. Like, just all the vitals exposed, but let me put on my shoulder and, like, in hip armor.
uh-huh.
Then again, Kung Lao would pull some arrogant shit like that. Like, go on. Try to hit me. I'll even leave it exposed for you. Go for it. Like the Red Baron, but he's bearing his chest.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't know. Like,
boy.
Liu Kang and Kung Lao being shirtless, I think is completely, like... Because Liu Kang has always been shirtless throughout the series, so it's like...
I'm just saying it's funny with armor, because, like, you're wearing armor.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, if you're going to wear armor, you might as well, wear armor.
Yeah.
But it's also fantasy, so in the same way that I defend bikini armor, I think it's fun. Should there be an option to not wear bikini armor? Yeah, I think Stellar Blade did a great job of mixing both, because in Stellar Blade, despite everyone knowing it as, like, the horny game, you can wear armor that looks like actually what you would fight in. Like, that armor exists if you want to wear it in the game.
Yeah. I brought up the on the Realmcast once. It was like somebody, a really high Twitch streamer, was like, my entire playthrough, I have my fans vote which costume they want to see, and it's either A, the most sexiest, most revealing outfit ever, or B, the main character just wearing a teddy bear like costume. And B won. So the person had to play the entire game as a teddy bear costume running around.
I got it, lads. First try.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Congratulations.
First try. Definitely did
It
not
wasn't
open
first try.
like 30.
Did you do like a bunch just then?
Yeah, I did about, must have been like 50, 60.
But yeah, pretty much everybody in the comments
Okay.
of my video is saying the typical talking points. They're not even upset because I have a very cool community like that, very chill. But they're saying, like, if they want to add this many ladies to the game, they could always have made new characters or used like way lesser known characters. Like if you wanted to do a Cyber Lin Kuei lady, you could have done Hydro, because like nobody really knows about Hydro, and it could have been a chick.
Yeah,
you could have done any number of things.
That's the way you could differentiate him from Rain. Just make him a woman.
Yeah.
And or a cyborg.
Yeah, I think this is the main thing I wanted to like talk about for this conversation. We were talking about all these sort of things, but the main thing is, how do you feel if, or highly chance of Sector and Cyrax now being gender swapped? How is that, like, how do you feel about that?
I would have been fine with it if they had, but the problem is it's NetherRealm, so I know they're not going to do this. But I was going to say, like, if they just went like, oh, they're like bikini battle warriors, like they have the armor but like also the bikinis and like and they're cyborgs but they're hot, then I would have been like, fuck yeah, like give me Cyrax, she's hot, she's got a big afro, let's fucking go. I would have been totally on board. It would have been awesome. Give me Sector looking like Stellar Blade's main character Eve with like this crazy long ponytail, but she has like a skin tight Zero Samus suit with armor on top of it. Best choice ever, NetherRealm. But they're not gonna do that. They're just gonna be like women in like sex only. They're not gonna like look hot or anything. They're not gonna have a secret scene where they make out under a waterfall. It's not gonna happen.
I find it very
Cyrax,
funny.
how could you betray us like this? Runs finger down her her chest. I hate when you rebel this way. I know you love it, Sector. You love when I rebel.
Now you make me imagine
would never approve of us.
Taking their weapons take their weapons and make them traits. Like Cyrax has the net, so Cyrax is really into bondage, and Sector has the flamethrower, so Sector's really into like candle play.
The candle.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hate that you know about that. Yep. Also, I had a random thought because Snake knows the lore. So in MK9, I'm not sure if this was always the case, but in NetherRealm timeline especially, Sector's grandfather, right, was the Lin Kuei leader?
His father, yeah.
His father, yeah.
Oh, his father, just straight up. Do you think they're going to keep that and make Sector like the sister of Beyond? But they just never talked about her until now?
The Grandmaster was like Spihan's father.
I think they could reference that character, but in this version he's just like a nobody. He's like a feeble old man, and then Shang Tsung's like, your father was supposed to be the Grandmaster of the Lin Kuei. And then it creates this like splinter faction of like Sector's like, you stole everything from me, Bihan. And so it's like, and that's where
they can't make Sector Whiplash from Iron Man 2. They can't do that.
Another random reference there.
But it's 2 1-to-1. I had to bring it up. They even give like Sector the whips.
Are we going to get... no, Takeda has that. So are we going to get back on track and answer more questions, for God's sake?
Well, we didn't even answer the question. Okay.
Did we not?
Yeah. Well, do you want...
we're waiting for you to pick a question while we're talking about this. That was it.
Yes.
Have you got a question? Have you found a question?
Did you... Okay, so I guess Snake doesn't give a shit about the gender swapping, and then
Who
Dog
cares?
will only like it if the characters are hot.
Yeah.
So
it depends what they do with it, really. I mean, I would like them to come up with an explanation for why Liu Kang would do this. That's been my biggest issue with a lot of the decisions. Like, why did he make these changes? Why did he make Kuai Liang Scorpion? Why did he do that? Why is Idenia just part of Outworld? Why is Chaos Realm non-existent? What were his motivations? I want that.
Yeah, you made that video too, I remember. Like the motivation video.
The problem is, if we get that explanation, it's only going to be in those little damn bios they give us, because it never came up in story mode, General Shao's origin at all.
Something.
But
yeah, that's fine, honestly. It's like, that's how they used to do it anyways. You read up on bio, and that's how you understand how the characters work and stuff.
Come on, Sonic.
Okay, fine. I thought we had more of a conclusion. I was gonna say something like, basically, like, I guess I don't, because I used to be like a Sector Cyrax giant fan when I was like a kid, so I was thinking like, but now I don't really care that much. But back then, if I had known this character got gender swapped, how would I feel? I don't think I would have really liked. Here's a funny story. Before Reptile was revealed, even I had that thought: multiverse story, new universe. Someone's getting gender swapped, because that's the easiest thing you can do in this one of those new universes. What if it was a Reptile? A part of me thought of it like that. Because,
little did you know, Reptile actually was gender swapped in another timeline.
I mean,
the only reason, Sonic, they didn't do that is because there was already a female counterpart to Reptile. Otherwise, they probably would have tried.
The fear came in because it was like Ed Boon just liked a tweet of someone like drawing like a female version of Reptile. I was like, hey, that's cool. And I'm like, why did he like that? What's going on here? And stuff. So if you're a Sector Cyrax fan seeing this, I can kind of understand your annoyance. Like a character
all 10 of them are pissed off right now.
Hey, Ketchup and Mustard are literally pissed off right now, right? I was.
I don't know. Actually, it'd be worth asking them
exactly.
in private, like in a DM, like, hey, I will never tell a soul. I just want to honestly know your opinion on this. How do you feel?
It is generally smarter for them to not address it.
Damn it.
I mean, if they are gender swapped, like actually they might have to at some point, but I feel like it's just they are smart
once
to
the trailer
not
drops,
because this is just there's going to be a negative reaction no matter what way you say. Oh, I don't mind it. You're a traitor. You're a fake fan of these characters. You don't care for the purity. Or this is bad. Or you just hate women. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Dipshits to the left
sad,
of me.
Though, because now that
to the right.
so many of us, I'm kind of sad, Snake and Sonic, because could you have imagined the crowd reaction if we all knew that Cyrax and Sector were going to be in like the Evo trailer, but we just didn't know anything else. We just like NetherRealm already told us like, oh, Cyrax and Sector are gonna get their gameplay reveal at Evo. Get ready, and like we're all excited. And then like sure enough, they fly in and land in the power armor, right? But the mask opens up and it's a lady, and she says some like one-liner, and you just get to hear the Abigail reaction, like just boo, like instantly from the whole crowd.
What I was saying, I thought what you were saying, like dog, is the fact that. Because of how early we recorded this episode, we're talking about things that's like, oh, but they already revealed the Cyrax Sector trailer, right? So we're like so behind and stuff.
Imagine if I'm right though. The prophecy is written.
I would like to see all the reactions of people being, when they just get the characters wrong, and like people see female Cyrax with the black woman like with cyborg stuff and the dreadlocks and go, Master Raven.
Oh, Jackie.
That'd be interesting.
Devorah!
Cyber Tanya.
Cyber Oh yeah, Devorah. Yeah.
The fact you brought that back, Sonic, you're so mean. Poor Caboose has waited like 6 months to get rid of that stigma, and you brought it back.
It's iconic. Come on. I love it. I'm not even making fun of it.
It's this game's equivalent of, is that Frost?
Dude. Chef's kiss, man. She kind of bad though. Is that Sector?
Is that Frost?
It is like it is this time.
Oh, it is. Yeah. I think what would be so funny is that somehow it turns out that like NRS somehow pulled the biggest like 180 no Uno reverse, and all these leaks turn out to be all fake, and we've been just talking about the nothing burger for the entire time. I really wish we lived in that timeline, that they actually can hide their leaks and stuff. Okay, leaks over, and we're back on some Q&As by JHFW5XM. That sounds like a very generated name. That sounds like Elon Musk's children or something. How awful do you think production of a Shaolin Monks sequel would be, since it would be under WB Games?
I don't think it would be bad. I think it'd probably be fine, because like the Shaolin Monks game didn't have like god tier writing anyway. Let's just be honest.
That's not the issue. We're definitely talking about gameplay.
All the microtransactions and shit. Like
I'm
you
just
just
thinking
spend money
Suicide
to like
Squad kill the Justice League.
It would absolutely be. It would be like, so you have the team of 4, your 4 Shaolin Monks from the new game, Johnny, Kenshi, Kung Lao, Raiden, and then each season adds another Shaolin. So this season adds Shujinko. This season adds Human Liu Kang from another timeline. This season adds Kai. Borai Cho, something like a new Shaolin character every season, and you have all these dog shit repetitive missions, and
climb the towers.
And like, the combat, the best we can realistically hope for is just Batman Arkham.
Oh no, that's not what makes Shaolin Monks fun though.
Yeah, I know. I'm well aware of that.
What does make Shaolin Monks fun?
Wow, if you play it, no.
That's why I'm curious. I don't know what makes it like great.
Play it.
Is it the fact that it's like it's a beat 'em up, but you can also kill people? I get that's pretty cool. You can like throw them into the trees and the living forest, and they eat them. They go nom nom. You can punch them off the bridge. Reptile goes, leave me be.
Play it.
I like how Snake is going through the mind control phase right now, basically.
Play it.
Play it. I'd have to use an emulator, I guess, which would technically be illegal because I don't own a copy of the game. But
play it.
He zoomed in too.
He's zooming in.
Play it.
He's so far away. Wow, I didn't even notice that. Look how small he is in comparison.
Snake, you don't understand. I have a full backlog of games that still need to be played.
But Shaolin Monks is for like YouTube content,
It's not. Nobody would watch my Shaolin Monks video.
I would.
Wow.
Be more interested than half the shit you put out otherwise.
Unless I gave it a really incendiary title. I could title it like Shaolin Monks is bad, actually.
Oh, that would get you the ultimate count. Snake would leave this podcast if you said that. Although unironically though, I will.
My favorite. You've all played it, right? You've both played it.
No, I haven't. I will possibly play it in the next. Actually, by the time this video is out, I might play it.
Why am I the only one catching strays then? Sonic hasn't played it either.
Because he's going to.
He's got more free.
Ow, fuck! Hit my table. He's got more free time than me. Why don't you get mad at Sonic?
I am literally busy with the reptile bidder right now. What are you talking about?
Yeah, okay, whatever. You finish games like on a weekly basis. Like, oh yeah, I bought and finished this entire video game. But sure. I don't
So?
even have like 1 hour of free time to play with my friends.
I finished Fire Emblem Engage this week, and I got bored during the DLC because it was fucking terrible, and gave up and watched it on YouTube.
That's true. Snake is the most in touch with his gamer side. He always finds time. And he's working a day job, too.
I try to find time too. Like I feel like I just like if I get a certain amount of work done, then I can like play games. And if I don't, then I just don't play that day. Essentially, that's kind of how I schedule it. Wait, what were we talking? Yeah, we were talking about the potential sequel to Shaolin Monks.
It would be terrible. Because they want to do more live service stuff. They said after Suicide Squad Bond, they want to do more because the people at the top are genuinely the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet.
Yeah.
Who did not earn their positions at all. They just failed upwards, and then all these companies, all these lower companies get shut down. Their projects get cancelled or stored in a vault. The people at the top are absolutely terrible people, barely even qualified as people, and they would just say, "Yeah, we want more live service Mortal Kombat." Who the fuck wants live service Mortal Kombat? No one. It's a game made for no one.
I mean, if that actually meant something, then I'd like it. But when they say live service, it's just a title they put on a terrible thing. It's not actually servicing us. It's giving us more things to spend money on. If live service meant that I got like free shit all the time, then yes. If live service meant that like a hot Mortal Kombat cosplayer came over to my house, then yes, I'll take that live service. But that's not what I'm getting. Sorry, y'all go ahead and talk. I'm gonna leave for a bit. I gotta.
Okay. See ya. What I was gonna ask was like, is Hogwarts Legacy?
Well,
Hogwarts.
Well, that's the weird one because that was the big success
that was
they
single
had.
Player, right?
Yeah,
and that was very successful.
Yes, single player, very successful. Like one of the biggest releases of the year, not just for WB but generally, and it had no live service elements. And then they're talking about how do we put live service elements into this successful game, instead of putting any thought into, well, why did this game succeed and not the others? What made this game different? Oh, the fact that it's not a live service, the fact that it's just a good game. Because if they were even halfway intelligent, they would say, oh, okay, so that's it. So clearly, live services don't work. Non-live service works. Let's move away from live services. But no, they're like, but that doesn't make the money. The money is what matters. Let's get the money. Yep. Let's live service Hogwarts. Let's have a vendor, a money hungry goblin showing up in Hogwarts who says, haha, give me real US dollars and British pounds and to buy the in-game currency of the Harry Potter fun box, and then you can use that in-game, and we'll have dog shit multiplayer maps, we'll have a raid, online multiplayer for Wizard Duels, which that could be decent, but it wouldn't be, and we just and let's just make this game, let's make a sequel to this game but have it be not anything like the original. That's what people want, isn't it? A sequel that is nothing like the original. That always does well. Fuck you.
I think the unfortunate thing about these companies is they don't see the risk of live service. They only see
the benefits.
But
the hypothetical benefits.
Exactly.
Because the benefits are not actually real. These benefits, unless you are, unless you do it right. So instead of being like, okay, so
if you're successful,
it's like instead of going. Well, they do live services like Fortnite and I think Destiny's one of them, and all these games. These are live services. And instead of saying, okay, so what do they do specifically that makes them successful? They do a live service. And that's as deep as it goes. And so they're like, we're going to do live service because that's what works. They're going, well, why did what specifically in the live service makes them a success? And they think we've got all the IPs, we've got Looney Tunes and DC, and we can make anything a success. And it's like, no. I like the Avengers game, which was like the hottest IP on the planet at the time, that failed. It bombed horribly. And then here's DC, which is not to the same level, although at this point now Marvel's kind of come down because of Phase 4, but.
5.
Even that, it's like
it's Phase 5 now.
That's like similarly equivalent as an IP. That didn't do it either. Like it's attached to both the successful and popular Batman Arkham games and to the Suicide Squad, a popular thing they have in the films. They've got these two things that they kind of put together, which on paper should have worked, but because they made it this dog shit live service, it completely failed. And they still think IP is the key to everything, but it's not. They proved it wasn't with Suicide Squad.
Hey dog, are you back? Hello?
Yeah, I just
Can
had
you
to
hear
use
me?
the restroom again. And also, I do admit that I talk too much and steal up too much time. So it was a win-win
Oh, no.
for the podcast.
No, don't worry about it. Snake went on like a 5-minute rant about live service bad.
About how
basically.
David Zaslav is a terrible human being and should be fired out of a cannon into the sun.
At least he didn't say a slur.
No,
Okay.
then he'll find a way to make us pay for the sun. He'll survive and make us pay for daylight.
What would even the plot of the new Shaolin Monks be? Just continuing Mortal Kombat 1?
Well, Ed Boon's already said that it would be not even Shaolin Monks. It would be Sub-Zero and Scorpion. So it would get a brand new name. That's
Yeah,
the
there
weird
was a
part. You
tweet.
couldn't even call it Shaolin Monks because the main characters aren't Shaolin Monks. Like maybe you could have like Shaolin Monks like in the subtitle above,
See,
like Shaolin Monks presents
Well,
Fire
that's
and Ice or
that's the
whatever.
funny thing
but-
about it is like because it's not going to be game. Even if it even if it was Shaolin Monks, if they made a direct narrative continuation of the original and it was going to be MK3 in that timeline, it's not going to play like it. So if you take away the Shaolin Monks aspect, it's just another action game. It's like saying Shaolin Monks is the sequel to MK Special Forces. They just happen to be action games set in the MK universe. So it's not going to be Shaolin Monks 2. It's just going to be a new action game. And honestly, I feel like the Lin Kuei is probably just the most likely thing. I mean, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Smoke, then maybe throw in a fourth one like Hydro, Cyrax,
Frost.
Sector. Yeah, there's options. And then
Gotta
it
have
could be
Frost.
in the current
Yeah.
timeline, could be a different one. There's a lot you could do, and it's like, well, here's the Lin Kuei, and we're gonna go on little adventures and basically take the Lin Kuei chapter, like the Sub-Zero chapter, and use that as the basis. Where you're just like going on missions for Liu Kang across the realms.
Yeah.
Also draw on the part where he sends his 3 champions to Outworld, and like you take those ideas. That's the basis for this Lin Kuei story, and that's what it would be.
From a gameplay standpoint too, like I know that like WB would ruin it by adding like an RPG system and a way to buy stuff and all that. But
no,
gameplay
no.
wise, if we just let the gameplay cook, because I think MK1 is proof they can do some really fun gameplay even when things are rushed, right? Can you imagine how fun it would look to like be doing Shaolin Monk style gameplay, but because it's Sub-Zero and Scorpion, it's like Sub-Zero does a string that knocks the opponent back, but they get frozen midair, and Scorpion goes, "Get over here!" and brings them back down and keeps the combo going. Like how sick that shit would look. It'd be so fucking cool. And then you could incorporate the crushing blow mechanic from MK11, but into the Shaolin Monks gameplay.
Oh, I
so
think
like
that'd work a bit
then like a
better,
10-hit
yeah.
combo, and then the camera zooms in, like big skull break, and you're like, "Oh yeah, fuck you." It'd be so sick. I'm not gonna lie. It would be such a fucking hype game if they fully realized it. The problem
Yeah.
is because WB, they probably would do a way lesser. They wouldn't put all their money into it. It'd be like a little side spin-off game for your phone or something, where you like click and drag with flipping mirror and
By a Chinese studio, partly backed by Tencent.
10 cent, of course.
I wish. Made by the City of the Wolves developers. just made by those boys.
No, by the people who made the Devil May Cry Pinnacle of Combat on mobile.
Oh my gosh, that's right. Yeah, they did that.
It's on a pachinko machine. They make the Shaolin Monk sequel on a pachinko machine.
They're learning from Japan. They're learning from the best.
I've never
here.
played a pachinko machine. I'm not even quite sure what it is. I just know that it is a way to get tons of money out of your
Gamble.
customers, and they, for some reason lately, have been using them as filler for fighting games, like in between games.
Yeah, it's always the weirdest when it's like lore accurate. I'm like, why don't? Why is
That's
it
what
lore
I mean.
accurate?
Yeah,
Why is
because
this part of
apparently,
the lore?
like, even Babe Ruthless said earlier that like the gap between some of the Fatal Fury games was done on pachinko machine.
I don't know about Fatal Fury, but there's like literally an entire movie on the pachinko machine. Like, and it's not, it's like similar to the first game, the plot, but it's like, it's its own thing. But it's a movie, basically. I know like Tekken, freaking Guilty Gear, like they have lore at the pachinko machine.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is actually, hilarious. Or maybe
Well,
Fatal
Guilty
Fury
Gear
does have it
lore is
too.
fucking impossible to follow anyway. That stuff is like, no, I love it, but it's very similar to like Kingdom Hearts lore, where when
Oh,
you're
yeah.
told the explanation for something,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
like, how does that work? Wait, but
I
how
watched
did
that
make
3-hour
that?
video you
just,
sent,
Just don't worry
Shredder
about
Dog,
it.
of the whiteboard guy explaining Guilty Gear to his friends.
And that was
It
just the first game, which kind of made sense.
What? I thought it
it's
was the whole
after that it
series.
gets ridiculous. Like, just trying to explain what Bedman is would, like, break somebody's brain. Just the one character. Like, what is Bedman? Well,
Those names are really funny. Yeah. Actually, I just remember in King of Fighters, like, there was a pachinko machine, and there was, like, it was, like, this one girl. I think she's, like, either a female Terry, or I think it's a Terry fangirl.
Yeah.
And she began from the pachinko machine, and after, like, so many years, she finally became playable in that one, like, all-female, like, King of Fighters spin-off game.
I think they put in a main
like
KOF as well as DLC, like KOF 14, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like after so long, like she started from there as like a fangirl of Terry, and that's it.
Are there different kinds of pachinko machines, or is it always like where you drop the thing in the top and it bounces off the pegs? Is it always that?
I think that's it, right?
I think it's always the same.
Yeah.
I wonder if we call them that here in the States, because we've had this since I was a kid too. Same exact thing. But they turn them into actual gambling units. Like the way they're not legally gambling, but I mean how they look. Like in this one screenshot, it looks like a Vegas slot machine lineup, but it's pachinko machines. Like it's got the lights and everything. Yeah.
Not gambling, you know.
It's not gambling. I looked it up.
Adjacent. It's like it's like they're in-store currency anyway.
We're getting off topic again.
Oh, okay.
I guess so. Yeah. Overall, like, I would love it. I would really, really, really hope. You know what? Just copy paste some of the mechanics of the first game. You know, they can do that, right? You know, just enhance on that. Just that. Just do that.
Yeah. If the gameplay, if NetherRealm was just allowed to cook without oversight, I think we'd have a pretty damn fun Shaolin Monks sequel on our hands.
Yeah. Just don't do live service. Just don't. You'll be good, please. So I know this might sound like a short thing, but how about just one more question? Because you know, we could talk for 4 hours, but I don't actually.
A short thing is 2.5 hours long already.
For us, it's very short, you know. Because I do have a really good like ending question. I think this would wrap up our Kombat Kings 50th episode so well, so neatly. Unless if we answer some very bizarre way, but basically I have a pretty good one. What do you guys want to do more? What do you guys want to do?
I'm good for anything as long as we can stay on topic and actually answer some questions.
Okay.
The problem is the questions appeal to all of us. Maybe in hindsight we should have just like, who wants to answer this question? Go. Just one person gets to answer. Not now. It's too late now.
Come on.
Well, the thing is, though, we actually do have a couple questions that they're like, Sonic, blah, 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 Snake, blah, blah, blah.
Do it.
You want to do something like that?
Yeah.
Do it, pussy. Do it, coward. Do it,
All
pussy.
Right, I'll do one of those, because we did get a couple of those, basically.
Fucking do it.
So, randomly picked, by the way. You're lucky nobody liked your comment. To Shockwave the Menace 867A. To Sonic, what do you think about the next Invasion season being about Reptile? Okay, we answered that question in the last episode when that happened. This is an older question, so
next.
okay. Next, to Dog, how does it feel being the best MK player in this podcast? Would you like Deception Sub-Zero in this game?
What was the second part?
Would you like Deception Sub-Zero into this game, like as a costume?
I mean, yeah, it'd be fine. I mean, we already had him in MK11, so like, I'm indifferent. I'd kind of prefer they just bring back the hated costume from Deception, the alternate, with the bald ponytail.
So let me ask this: you're okay if we've had a skin in MK11 not come back in M1K?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of hate when they're repeats personally, because like, if those people have their way, then every game's gonna have an MK9 Scorpion, because we all agree it's a great costume. But it don't gotta be in every game. Yeah. Now that being said, I'm still mad how the MK11 versions were not one-to-one replicas. That always bothers me. Like they always make some change that I end up hating. Like the fur collar was only on the back in MK11, whereas I'm pretty sure it like wrapped all the way around in the original, which was way cooler. So you know, cooler. As for the first question, being the best MK player, I mean, these guys don't really care to get good, so it's not that big of a deal to me. It's like being the best like tic-tac-toe player.
I've been trying to get good. I've been trying.
Not to mention, just the other day, I consider myself to be pretty good at Tekken, but just the other day, some random troll somehow got into our private lobby. I'm not sure how he snuck in there, and proceeded to body me clean in Tekken 8, and I was like, well, damn. And here I thought I was good at this game, and he almost 3-0'd me. So
that's all it took. just some random person bodying you like to humble you.
Yeah, well, but to roast of that guy, he had nothing better to do on a Saturday night than play alone by himself and invade people's lobbies. So that guy's a loser.
Wow. If you play fighting, just as that Shonen Dog says, if you play fighting games, you're a loser. If you play invasions, you're a loser.
No, if you play by yourself alone on a Saturday night, then yes, you are a loser. It's a Saturday night. At least have friends. Like, at least be in a party chat. Come on.
Chat?
Party chat. Like, you can still be in a party chat while playing Invasions. Like, you
maybe he was on
Discord
Discord talking to his other infiltrator friends. Did you think about that, dog? No, you did not.
Sorry, when you said maybe he's at a party chat, I thought there was like you know,
Chat. You could have been a party chat.
Yeah.
Could have been
a party chat.
But yeah, that's it for my question. Move on. Next.
Yeah, unironically, like last time I did a live stream, like the premiere with my fans, I was like, chat, what do you think? Like, well, did I just say that to my fans? Like, chat, what do you think? Chat, what do we think? Okay, and to Snake. How does it feel not being verified by YouTube despite getting to 100K? Is that true?
Yeah.
Wait, you're not verified?
No.
Huh. Is that a problem on YouTube side, or you just didn't do that?
Is that something you do manually, or?
Yeah, I can. Do you have your plaque too? You do, right? Yeah, you have your plaque.
He has his plaque. Yeah, he has a silver plaque.
Good. He got it on his mom's B-Day. Yeah.
I think you can apply for that. Yeah, I think you have the money to apply for that.
I can send him a link if he wants to apply for it. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Shockwave, for reminding Snake of that, or asking about that. But the true question was, who is your favorite character in MK Onslaught? Literally a Snake only question
yes.
here.
And we have to include the variation names because they have like 4 characters for the same character.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like what version?
Well, it's my go-to who's always on my team.
Oh, cool.
Is that Mortal Kombat 1 Shang Tsung?
Focus, you bastard. Focus.
I mean, it looks like Shang.
I know, he does look like Shang, right?
No, I ruined it. No. Yes, it's M1K Shang.
Okay.
Because I've seen like tier lists that agree that he's like the best character in the game, because he's really powerful. He's also a healer. Like, he has right at the start of a battle, he goes invisible, and so you can't even hit him. And then
Cool.
And then when that goes off, he just heals his team. he also when he uses his special, he has a chance that Goro will just drop down and just throw a fireball at the opponent too. So it's
a classic Goro too, by the way.
So he's just really powerful. So he's always on my team no matter what. I've also been really liking Dark Raiden. He can just come back from the dead after he dies one time, which used to be a gimmick exclusive to Undying Shao Kahn, but Dark Raiden could just do it. So those two are usually in my team. But then I've also got my top, because you have to consider the affinities. So these two are blue affinity. Goro is my top green, and M1K Scorpion is my top red. So like these are like my top characters. It's M1K Shang, Dark Raiden, Base Noob Cybot, Goro, M1K Scorpion, Fire God Liu Kang, Sindel, Peacemaker, Classic Sub-Zero, Hellfire Scorpion, which is a Revenant, M1K Kenshi, and Quan Chi's up here somehow. Because I was boosting him because I needed story heroes to do certain challenges.
Interesting. I just heard Undying Shao Kahn. I find that to be a very hilarious title for him.
Yeah, the whole gimmick is he dies and then just gets back up. Which led to a really fun,
which is kind of accurate to him in MK9.
It led to a really funny moment the other day when I was doing versus against another person's team, and what happened was Shao Kahn goes down. And then basically he rises out of the ground on his throne and then gets up. So there's a few seconds where potentially nothing's happening. If there's no one else for my team to fight, the characters just stood there. And he comes up and he rises up and he's like basically staring down Dark Raiden and I think it was M1K Scorpion. And then Peacemaker's just there, just shoots him in the back of the head and kills him instantly. as soon as gameplay resumes.
Okay. That actually leads to another interesting question. So there is PvP?
Not actually against another player, you just fight their team.
I see, okay. So you just kind of set up a team and let people like challenge you and see if you can win or not?
That's how it usually works in these. Like, I think Fire Emblem Heroes it sometimes has like proper PvP. I'm not sure. I think Fate Grand Order might, but like this and Raid Shadow Legends don't. As far as I'm aware, they just fight the other teams.
I see. But yeah, literally a question only Snake could answer there, because he can say a lot of these opinions about this. Now we are on to the final question, and this will end off our 50th episode special. The question is by Vincenzo2K1N.
Vincenzo.
If you could tell Ed Boon one thing about MK, whether it's gameplay, story related, or just a criticism, what would it be if you know he'd take it to heart and implement that in the future?
Hanzo is not a revenant, you fuck.
That's true. Get your fucking title straight, damn it. Get your different
not even high. You just walk up to it and it's like, oh, hello there, sir. Hanzo is not a revenant.
Liu Kang in Deception is not a revenant. He's just a zombie. The soul's not in there.
Yep. What would I tell Ed Boon?
I know, right? I feel like I'd be having more of like a hi there, it's nice to meet you, kind of like a conversation with him. But I guess if I could implement something into the franchise in general, kind of a thing. Yeah, I gotta think about that.
I'd say rise up against David Zaslav and take over Warner Bros.
Take over Warner? Wow.
In a bloody coup.
Yep.
have the Warner
most
Brothers
peaceful
debate.
coup of all time. He just politely walks in and takes over. So we decided that everyone prefers me. So I'll be in charge now. I'm looking forward to how we move on.
Wouldn't
past
you be
this.
happier with Ed Boon? You'd be happy with Ed Boon, right? In charge of Warner Bros.
Yeah.
Probably.
No, put Tobias in charge.
I don't know.
Maybe not. Maybe Ed Boon's in charge, but Tobias gets to write again.
Because for all the criticisms I have of his creative works, the name escapes me, the Tekken guy, Harada, yeah.
Harada.
They both seem like just really nice guys.
Oh yeah.
Like,
they seem awesome.
For as much as I have to complain about with their works, I feel like they would be like just chill guys. So like, at least we know that. At least then we'd know Ed, the person in charge of WB, would not be outright evil. That would be nice. Not a literally evil person.
Damn.
I think I'd go up to Ed Boon, shake his hand, and just whisper, "Hail Hydra."
Why? He's not even. That's Marvel too. So random. You know what's really funny is Trinidad literally has met Ed Boon a couple of times, so he's kind of already had this question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I can think of another one. Because one time I joked that I was going to do this with Ed Boon, but then I didn't do it, and my comrades were like, or my colleagues, they were like, you didn't do the thing, and I'm like, I was too nervous. Because I brought my backpack and stuff, because I just didn't know if I needed a backpack for the recording of the MK1 stuff on reveal day, or gameplay reveal day. And we got to meet Ed Boon, chat with him for a bit. He was very nice, very down-to-earth person. But I wanted to show him my fan art because I had it in my backpack. I had all the different sketches and fan art costumes and stuff. And I wanted to show him my art. But he was just so busy talking to everybody else and me. I didn't want to like just make it just about me. But if I could do one thing, I'd probably do that. I'd be like, hey, Ed Boon, here's my fan art. Here, you can have it. They're photocopies. Keep them. If you want to put them in the game, here you go.
You weren't just gonna show it to him, maybe ask him to sign. You were gonna give it to him. I see.
Yeah. Yeah. And it'll be signed like, yours truly. Or like your biggest fan, Underdog. He's like, who the fuck is this? And just throws it away later.
You retweeted my katana video.
It's true, he did do that. Yeah, it's pretty funny. I'm not sure if we told this story or not, but he straight up leaked the Reptile trailer to us before, like verbally he leaked the Reptile trailer to my friend who was just next to me. He'd never met my friend before. And this same friend is a foot lover. This is our feet boy.
Oh wow,
he's right next
to
me.
Feet reveal.
And I said my line, which was a great line. I'm so happy I delivered it so well. I just told him thank you for being so active in the community because there's people who are in his same position that don't do that. So I really appreciated it.
It is fun to see his polls and
then
stuff.
my buddy said like, oh yeah, I'm very excited to see I know you're gonna have a trailer. I'm very excited. That's my buddy talking, right? And he goes, I'm really excited to see hopefully Reptile, But I think I'm in the minority here. I'm one of the few people that misses his dinosaur form. I liked when he was just a straight up lizard man in Deadly Alliance. And Ed Boon had like the softest smile, and he went, "I think you're gonna like tomorrow then." Just straight up told us, like this man can't keep secrets. This is why he can't go to every event. This man can't keep his lips sealed.
Where I thought it was going to go was that this is a friend who likes feet, and he's going to say, "Oh, can't wait to see whose feet we see in the next trailer." And he's like, "I think you're going to be happy. Could we get those close-ups of Reptile in that trailer?"
Unfortunately, my friend is not bisexual, so he hates that. He hates seeing men feet.
Bro,
He can tell.
same. Bro.
He was actually sick during that trailer. He was like, we were both in the hotel room. I was watching the trailer live on stream and reacting to it, and then he was like sick in bed in the background, like peeking over the covers.
Oh really? I want to go back and see that reaction.
You can't see him. He's out of frame. I made sure he wasn't in frame. He was like, "I'm sick. Can I not be in the shot?" And I'm like, "You won't be in the shot, buddy." Yeah. Anyone going to Evo for the first time, if you're watching this video, wash your hands every chance you get. Like especially in the bathroom, always wash your hands. You'd be surprised how easy it is to get sick at those things. Like any convention, it is
probably.
so easy to catch something. You're around thousands of people. It's super easy to get sick.
Carry hand sanitizer bottles. Did COVID teach you nothing?
You know what? I've got to say this though. Your friend is based not just for liking feet, but also liking dinosaur reptile. Very based. It's a very rare thing to get from people liking dinosaur reptile.
I think we should get him on the podcast because he has something in common with all of us.
Just put a mask on him so he's not like shamed. Because sadly, for some reason, foot lovers are very shamed in today's world, which is weird. Out of all the fetishes and kinks that are accepted, that's the one that's a bridge too far.
To? Yeah, like if he wants to, I don't think it'd be too bad. But I don't know if he'd want to be on the podcast.
He loves playing King and Tekken. Maybe I can give him a King mask, and he'll just wear a King mask the entire podcast.
and then we cut his voice every time he speaks and replace it with Jaguar growls. Then we're like, oh,
just subtitles. Make Sonic do subtitles the whole time.
Oh my gosh! Do you have any idea how literally a 30-minute video would take me like an entire day to do as subtitles. That's how hard it is.
Well, I think there's an app that does it for you. That's what all the YouTube Shorts people are doing. Those like little scammers that make the cheapest AI voice like shorts out there, but they make millions of views.
Dog. You are forgetting. This is Mr. Sonic XD here, the person who puts way too much effort into his videos. He's not going to take shortcuts for this bullshit. He's going to sit down, he's going to put those subtitles in and make them color graded for every single person like this was a goddamn Super Sentai fan sub, and it's going to be amazing.
Oh gosh, you're right. I was thinking of YouTube subtitles, but no, you're right. It's like in the video, I would put that much. Literally, like the 1995 Mortal Kombat video, I started putting like when I showed the interviews, I actually put it like subtitles like popping out with the colors showing like, oh, this is Robin Shu talking, so it's like the red subtitles. This is like the director talking, so it's like a yellow subtitle. I did that. I literally added like maybe an additional 2-3 days because I had to like type in all that stuff, and actually I had to like ask around, be like, what did this guy say? I'm not too sure, like because he says it's old 20-year-old like footage, so I can't like hear clearly. So I'm like theorizing, like, oh, I finally got it and stuff like that. So yeah, you're right, Stick. I would dedicate too much time in that. Not
to mention the AI generated subtitles are wrong all the time. Yeah. Like not most of the time, but like I say like every 3 sentences I see like an error of some kind. Like instead of putting like they'll put something else. Like some words that could be easily misconstrued, they'll put the wrong word. So gotta be careful with those.
Yeah. I also just got jump scared by Sub-Zero.
You didn't notice?
I just saw that just then. I was like, I know you were fiddling, and I'm like, I look at
oh, there he is, Deception Sub-Zero.
No, you see
you
it.
didn't notice
it, right?
either. I brought him to point out where the fur is. So it's on the back.
We gave him the cold shoulder.
But it's not on the shoulders.
We ignored him. Well, in my defense, I'm watching Cyberpunk with mods right now, so.
Why?
He's still watching. But what I was gonna say is like I guess the Sub-Zero really blended in. Essentially, he's very sneaky there. I don't really necessarily know how I would like fix the game. You know, I guess I would like be thankful for Reptile's return, and I guess I'll be like, you know what, Ed, love you, man. You do great shit. Stop with the fucking time traveling multiverse shit, okay? Stop.
You know what? Yeah, I think that's the thing I would say.
Stop
doing the multiverse time travel stuff.
Look, I know this isn't the best story mode they've ever made. I know this isn't like a groundbreaking thing, but can we get a Mortal Kombat X story mode kind of thing again? You know, can we just do a story?
Okay, so let's just imagine
like the biggest deal was like a 20-year jump gap. That's the biggest deal we got.
Let's imagine the hypothetical. The hypothetical is that somehow we get Ed Boon on this podcast, and we all get to request one thing of him. Sonic requests that. I request stop doing character chapters. Do each fight by who makes the most sense for the story. Let us use everybody in the story at least once.
Ooh. Wait. Whoa. That's hard.
Is it really?
That's really hard.
Is it really hard to...
24 characters, and like you're fighting against their villains, and you want them to be playable too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could just do it like the way Street Fighter does it. Like, Snake's made multiple videos on it, but even if they keep the chapter system, you can have one-off fights. Like, there's no reason not to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Actually, you made that one video. It was in your MK9 video. Your suggestion, you had like, you had examples. What was it? Was it DOA where they did like the entire like timeline fights or something like that?
Yeah, in DOA it is character chapters for DOA 5, but the way that works is so you'll play like 3 fights as like Tina, and then it will jump back in the timeline to play as someone else for all the fights they win, and then after you've done them, you'll jump back to another character, and then at a certain point it's like you're going through the story then. And it's going pretty evenly, progressing, and then suddenly you just do a hard jump back to like the very start of the story to play as like Ryu Hayabusa or something.
But I did like one of your suggestions. You were talking about the X-Men fighting game.
Yeah. Next dimension.
Where basically each time it's time to like, okay, here comes the fight, and you're gonna fight like whoever this character. You get to like choose 5 characters out of the X-Men to fight this character, essentially. Yeah. So anybody of these 5 could have won this scenario and stuff. I think that's a great idea, actually.
How cool would it be if like Kenji's chapter is like, no, you can choose Kenshi, Kung Lao, or Johnny Cage for any of these fights.
And then in the Sundo chapter, you can choose Reptile, Kung Lao, Ashura. Baraka's not there. The 6 of them, basically.
Or it's like who's going to get taken down by Ashura? Is it going to be Baraka or Reptile? Or Baraka goes down, Reptile fights her.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these scenarios. I think that was one thing that like I might
another
talk
great
about this in Mortal
example.
Kombat.
Even though I think Kenshi has a chapter, so not the best example, but you know when Kenshi finally gets his powers and whatnot, but you still don't get to play as him against Ermac. That would have been a great example of a one-off fight. Just right there, it's fine. Just because story-wise, it's unavoidable. You got to give him that one-off fight.
Yeah, do what they did in MK9, which is after Kung Lao dies, you play as Liu Kang. That was like a
or
great,
even like Injustice did a
one-off
couple
fight.
of those.
Injustice you choose, and MK.
No, he means in the first one because you play as Batman for 2. You had 2 chapters for Batman, 1 for each Batman. And then you do a Batman mirror match at the end of Wonder Woman's chapter.
You do.
I see.
The sheer number of Batman fights you get in those two games, it's more than most MK characters get in 3 games. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, I think as much as like we may not think it's the best, I do think Tekken 8's story mode is at least going into an interesting direction of the character chapter system, you know. And yes, 90 like a giant percentage of that was Jin, just playing as Jin. But at least it's not affecting how the story is playing out. That's the story they want to play out essentially. It's not like, okay, now we need to give a chapter to King, so here's King with 5 fights. Oh, now we need to give a chapter to Nina or something like that, you know. So at least I think Tekken 8 had more freedom with how they wanted to tell their story because of that.
But even in that game, not everyone got to play. Not everyone got to fight. I'm just saying, sucks.
Yes, exactly. I'm just saying it's the right direction.
Just 1 or 2 more tournament fights would have solved that problem. Just 1 or 2
I really wish that
tournament
tournament like played out, you know. I want to be like, I want to get King to fight Jin.
See the
or
way
something like that.
When Kazuya's like, oh yeah, get the people from the tournament. What I thought it was going to be was, is he going to recruit all the people that we won as, and then we have to play as the losers later on?
That'd be cool.
So many cool ideas, yeah. I will say this. I am still very excited about the DLC story, though. Like, I am very excited to see what they do there, because it's actually not going to be about the fucking Mishimas.
Lydia
Hopefully.
with the story, yeah.
Lydia, Eddie, and the 2 other characters who probably aren't going to be as standout compared to Lydia and Eddie. It's all 4 of them, right, if I'm not mistaken? The DLC story?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, dog? What do you want? What do you want to grind into Ed Boon's heart?
I already told you. It was the fan arts. I wanted to show him the fan arts.
Oh, so that's...
if we ever get the opportunity, you can just ask for the blood option. Then we've got like the 3 biggest issues with MK being resolved all in one go. Let us turn blood off, get rid of the multiverse crap, let everyone be playable and drop the
No
chapter
fatalities in Combat League. They're not possible. You can do
Just
brutalities. No fatalities in
least-
Combat League. It wastes too much fucking time.
What about the ending though? You won the match. At least the fatality there.
Yeah, you've won the
right?
match.
No.
Why do you
Takes
deserve
too
more
long.
victory?
You don't want to BM your opponent. Come on now, BM.
No, brutalities are cooler. I stand by this. Brutalities are cool, and you got to
Ah.
combo into them, so they're way more satisfying. They have requirements. I think that fatalities have their place, obviously. You need fatalities. Like, they can be in player matches, they can be in custom lobbies, casual lobbies. They can be in invasions mode for XP. But for ranked, when it's all about who's the more skilled player, cut that shit out. We don't need it.
What's really funny is, like, after you stated how much you dislike, like, fatalities in Combat League, when I play Combat League, and when the first opponent wins me and then plays a fatality, I do like the fighting game meme, like, like, first match fatality, huh?
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
what I mean. It's a mental warfare. It's bullshit. It's
like the
annoying.
first match.
It's the same thing as like when Sonic Fox had Goichi switch chairs with him at Grand Finals in Dragon Ball Fighters. And
Yeah.
sure, you could argue it gives a bit of an advantage to play from a side you're familiar from, but also it's a mind game because it cooled Goichi off. He was like ready to go. He's still in like that zone, and that extra like 2 minutes or 3 minutes of bullshit definitely took him out of the zone. So like
It was
the
such an
fatalities can do
interesting
that too.
strategy.
Like you're in the zone, like you're ready to rematch, then they do a fatality, and now you're like just sat there for like 30 seconds watching the most gratuitous thing you've seen 1,000 times already. So it's already lost its appeal.
That'd be very interesting if they actually banned fatalities in Combat League. I think that'd be very controversial though, but it would be interesting.
We need fatalities that are unique on every villain in some way or every opponent. Like imagine if like Wonder Woman had a fatality and she puts the lasso around you and starts tightening it, and like of course she just like rips you in half with it. But before she kills you, they say some embarrassing truth that's unique to every character in the game. That'd be so awesome. Like Johnny
exactly
Cage is
cute.
like, I collect my own action figures, gets ripped in half.
Yeah, I do like it when they do small things like that, like how like Aaron Black has like a wanted poster of every single character in the game and whatnot. I do like that.
Reptile would be like, I think Ashra's hot. Gets ripped in half.
Like,
Was it a Joker fatality or brutality where he's like beating you with his cane, and then like, everyone has a unique line when he's about to finish them, and like fucking
No.
the Sub-Zero guy, Dimitri Vegas goes finally. Before he gets murdered.
Oh really? Oh my
I'm
god.
pretty sure that is
funny.
the case.
My favorite one too. Johnny Cage has
Finally.
that too. He puts
I
the
gotta look that
sunglasses
up.
on him for the brutality, and like they all have a different line when he makes them point back at him. Because for some reason his sunglasses mind control people in that brutality, which you don't gotta explain it. It's very funny.
It's
But
just
my
funny,
favorite one
yeah.
is Devora, because Devora goes, "Release me," and then her head explodes. She's like, "Stop mind controlling me,"
That's funny.
which is bullshit. Because she should have said, "Release this one."
But it's fun actually because I was going through some clips from a new current video, and like, yeah, she says me at least at one point in MKX. So
Oh,
it's, not
okay.
just, it's not just MK11
Wah,
fucking up. Like, there
wah.
are just plenty of points where she says me instead of this one. So
To be fair though,
It
this
is-
could mean that she's growing a heart. She's understanding how to speak normally because she's been spending time with normal people more. Aww.
shut up.
Have y'all seen my wholesome Devora art that I made a while ago or not? Did I ever show
you made a
y'all?
wholesome. Not sure.
Well,
about
not wholesome.
This
I made like, I like the idea of like
Ooh,
someone who
fem shop.
controls insects as their power, but they're a good guy. So I made a good guy version of Devora where she looks more like a beekeeper, and she carries the hive like on her back with a little backpack and like straps, and she's like saying hi, and like the bugs are flying around her hand, and she's waving at you, and she looks like a good guy.
Well, that was our 50th episode special. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys. Thank you very much for watching us for the past 2 years. It's insane. We honestly
Crazy.
are. It's been a fun journey, honestly. Like I can't believe how long we decided to do this. It's like what's funny is actually I feel like the Realm Cast episode that's not released, or maybe we released by now, who knows? We kind of go through this like this special moment of like looking back and stuff in that episode too. So if you want even more reminiscing, actually go check that out whenever that comes out. But yeah, I honestly think it's been a really fun journey, just like hanging out with you guys.
Isn't that the 50th episode?
Oh my gosh, is it? I think so.
We caught up with you guys, and we're going to just run on ahead.
We're gonna take over. I have too much spare time to
I
edit
won't
these
use the word
podcasts
surpass
with.
because that sounds too egotistical. I'll just say we're gonna go on ahead. It was me, Realmcast. It was me.
And doggy.
What the dog doing?
Oh, everyone's showing their lightsabers.
Doesn't turn on though. It's out of battery.
You lame loser.
I own
I've
the
only
white
got-
saber.
I own a Power Ranger saber here.
This thing was expensive as fuck because I got it at a convention.
There we go. Nice.
Mine's cheap.
It's
not even an official
customizable too.
lightsaber.
You can like change the different segments if you want to.
Whoa. It also does turn on if you wanted to, right?
Yeah, it turns on. It also makes the sound effects. When you swing it, it goes. Vroom, vroom, vroom.
Ooh.
And when it makes contact,
Mine
it goes.
does the sound effects when I don't turn them off because it just goes vroom, vroom, incessantly.
Also, you can't.
It doesn't stop.
Oh, there you go. And if you catch it on camera, but you probably can't see it on my webcam, but like it also ignites from the bottom up. It goes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Ah, nice. That's very cool.
I used to bring it to class all the time for my students to
Mine's
like
basically a torch.
have fun with on the finals week. I was such a cool teacher.
Nice. Actually, yeah, if we really want to talk about our journeys, I think since we started this, I think Trinidad was still a teacher, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think you were still a teacher back then. Snake got his like 100K like silver plat.
I was sub 100K when we started.
Yeah. Dog finished his comic. Finally came out during when we were doing this. Our
It
freaking
was so
podcast.
satisfying. I finally shipped off every single cover A and cover B. All that's left now is cover C because some people still haven't given me their address for some reason for cover C. So I'm still waiting for those people to send me their address, but yeah.
He was a big robot then for me, so I'll just say yes, I agree.
Oh, I could at least hear
That's
that.
cover C. It's got the ladies on it. It's got feet. It's got feet.
Feet.
We made feet a part of our.
We've reached our quota for the 50th episode.
No,
Yay!
no,
Yeah, we
Snake.
did.
We reached it so early on
Fuck
when we
yeah,
brought
we
up
did.
like Trinidad's friend. We already talked so much about feet during that time.
That's a cheat code. That doesn't count.
Okay. But yeah, there's been a lot of milestones that happened in between these 2 years. It's really fun. I went to Europe, which I don't know if that's considered a milestone.
I mean, M1K came out during the time we were doing it. I think
That's true.
I think two Legends films came out in the time span.
Our first episode was literally talking about the trailer of Snowblind. That was the first episode of our podcast.
In my heart, our first episode was the Mortal Kombat 2021 thoughts, and we had Brusk on too. That in my heart is our number one because it kind of started the idea.
That technically would be like episode 0, not the episode 0, which we actually do have, but like kind of like the start of it is
And it has so many banger moments in that whole movie. Like that whole 1 hour plus video we made together has so many clippable, funny moments that are all great. My favorite of which is still my theory for the second film, which if it happens, I'm going to be laughing so hard.
And Tronodog, a lot of my fans who I talk with literally bring that up all the time. It's like, we're getting closer to the reveal. It's like, is Baraka going to be black? Once we find out.
Are they dumb enough to do that? Are they dumb enough?
I mean, they were dumb enough to do a Mortal Kombat move without the tournament, so yes they are.
And I mean, no spoilers, but The Boys season 3 and 4 has done some really inept stuff like that too, where they're trying to be like progressive, but they're actually like insulting the group they're trying to pander to in The Boys. So we'll see.
I mean, yeah, The Boys is very edgy and like it's kind of both ways in some senses, even though it's definitely way more left leaning. But I mean, always you can see more of that.
What if
stuff.
Superman voted Trump? that is The Boys.
Wait, what were we?
So we have 50 episodes in. That's pretty damn cool. We're going for about 2 years.
Cut that part out, Sonic.
So what are our plans for the next 50 episodes, the next 2 years of the podcast?
Oh gosh. No.
Well, of course,
I'm going to shamelessly shill my comic in every single one because we're going to start having new comics. I already have the next campaign ready to go pretty much.
Yeah, your new comic. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
With any future MK animated movies, we're going to do our live reactions on to them together. That should be a fun one.
See some poor souls who think Fall of Adenia is a real thing. I keep having to break their hearts and be like, no, that's not real. Sorry.
So many, yeah.
Live action films, I don't know. We'll do. Also, we'll do a review of it. Whether and probably do a watch party as well. Whether that would be our initial viewing, I don't know, because
It won't be mine though, because I'm sure I'll go to the theaters for that once it comes out.
yeah, then you give all your thoughts in a dedicated video and siphon the views away from the podcast, you bastard.
Hey, I got to siphon the view from every other content creator because for some reason last time in Asia we got it like 2 weeks early. So I was one of the first people who got the review as like a commoner, and I literally. I feel like I'm a commoner. I still think the funniest thing about that was like I made a compilation of being like, everybody stole my joke about Cole Young having plot armor because no other reviews, nobody saw the movie yet. So I go on Twitter, type Cole Young plot armor. It is always after the movie is out, always after my review. So I'm the first one with that joke.
Why is Cole Young not in Mortal Kombat 1 yet? As a cameo fighter.
Right.
He should show up and just stand there and absorb all the hits for you. And then if he absorbs enough hits, when you summon him again, he comes up and just explodes with all the energy.
So similar to Janet Cage's wall. Similar.
It'd be really funny if he just showed up in the story mode, just in the background in the multiversal army.
And he dies.
He dies. You know what I think?
No, I just mean like it's a version of him like from like between the two movies, and he's like, what the fuck? And he has no idea what's going on because he's not even been to Outworld yet, and he's suddenly thrust into this multiverse stuff. And then when he shows up in the next movie, he's just like, oh, like, Cole, you okay? I've seen things. You were there.
I am very curious of the sequel.
And you were a god, Liu Kang.
Yeah. I am curious if in the sequel they're going to make him be the main character again, or if he's going to be more of like a supporting role because they're adding like new characters. I think he'd be way stronger as a supporting role personally, but
yeah.
I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna promote whenever the movie comes out. It's gonna be a big promotion. So maybe then Cole Young will come out. Like, rumored the movie is coming out next year. By the way, dog, I have heard because right now there is the early screening like reviews and early screening. Literally, there's like big leaks. I didn't look at the leaks though, but I did hear some early like screening.
I've been ignoring all of them.
Yeah, so I guess I won't tell you then because your answer could be. I could answer your question just then.
I want to see all that dog shit for myself.
Honestly, yes. Honestly, yes.
I did hear one tiny spoiler, but it's not really a spoiler. It's just that Katana has a lot of scenes, and I'm like, good.
Yeah. I've heard of that.
Yes, she would.
I mean, she kind of deserves it since all she did in the first like 1995 movie is like say like 4 lines. So I mean,
what I heard is Katana and Johnny are going to have a lot of scenes. That's what I've heard.
Well, yeah, because they're like the big new characters, and like Katana's got the connections to Shao Kahn and Sindel, so they're probably going to do the whole Sindel mind controlled and/or Sindel is just evil, depending on how stupid the creators are. And Johnny Cage, obviously, they ended the first movie panning towards the Johnny Cage poster to go, yes, he's in the next one. It would be a massive waste of time to not have him be in a key role.
Yeah. Exactly. I think, you know what, predictions, the beginning of the movie, we're going to see the fall of Adinia. We're going to see Jared being killed and stuff. That's going to be the beginning of the movie. Like how the beginning of the last movie was, like, Scorpion's family getting all killed off and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can see
that.
I mean, that would actually be really cool if done correctly. As long as they make sure that Adinia looks, like, interesting and not crappy like the fucking stupid underground lazy arena they had in the first film. They spent, like, 80% of the movie in that stupid CGI, like, underground arena.
It's so funny how that movie just feels like a COVID movie, but it was already done before COVID.
Yeah. Oh, the first. Okay.
It feels like a fan film. The first one, yeah, it feels like a freaking fan film.
You're talking about where they train at. Okay, yeah. I was very confused. Like underground, like Adinia, all that.
If Adinia looks like that, I'll be so upset because Adinia like has so much potential to look really dope and cool.
I will say this though.
I had a sad thought, you guys. Imagine the perfect timeline, right? If quantum theory exists, imagine the perfect timeline where instead of Zack Snyder making crappy DC films where he makes Batman a murderer, instead WB made the smart move and grabbed him to make Mortal Kombat movies.
No.
But it would have been perfect. Imagine 300.
Liu Kang is Jesus.
Yes.
Who's Jesus? Liu Kang?
Yeah, they'll do like cinematic shots.
I mean, he already does it in the MK1 reveal trailer. He floats down like that. Yeah,
he is literally. Yeah.
Yeah, he already does the whole Jesus thing.
But to be fair, in that case, he is literally the god of this universe, so it's justifiable there. Whereas if it's just here's the mortal version,
and he was a human first, and then he died.
Yeah, and then
he became God.
Yeah,
he is Jesus. He's a hero of the world who died, and then became God.
They're gonna
He
ask.
died,
like,
and then
very
and 3 games later he rose again.
They're gonna
3
ask
games
like
later, he rose again.
they're gonna ask like pointless questions about like, wait a second, he dies in Deadly Alliance, right? So, isn't that like 3 games? Isn't Mortal Kombat 9 like 3 games? Oh wait, or DC?
No,
Mortal
no,
Kombat versus
count
DC.
MK9. He dies in MK9. Then in X and 11, he's still dead. And then in 1, on the 3rd game, he became God.
There you go. Yes.
We gotta make a meme. We gotta tweet this shit. It's too funny.
Hey, you're the one making memes every single day right now.
Friendly
before
reminder
Evo,
that Liu Kang died in MK9, and on the 3rd game, he rose again and became God.
And you do like it's like this pose.
Technically,
he
it
does,
happened
yeah.
in MK11, but he was just like the fire god. He was not the creator of everything, like he was in MK1.
And then he
But yeah.
leads his followers into the desert. That's a different person,
Yep.
but he does do that. And then in the desert he faces his nemesis, whose name starts with S.
Could you imagine?
His counterpart, his evil counterpart, who tries the snake who tempts humanity.
I'm imagining like a more accurate version of Liu Kang in like MK1, where it's like, Liu Kang, all this shit has been happening for the past 100 years. Like, Shao Kahn invaded Edenia and took over everything, and blah
remember.
blah. What have you been doing? And he's like, sorry, I dozed off for a little bit. What happened?
Remember,
You gotta keep in mind, I've been alive for the entirety of the universe. So for you, it's 100 years. For me, I just dozed off for a second mentally.
and
I just wasn't there.
this dark counterpart. Remember, he was trying to manipulate and corrupt the first woman of Eden here. He trying to manipulate her.
Edenia.
He was trying.
Shao Kahn invaded Edenia.
Eden.
You see, Shang Tsung. He was trying to manipulate her, like the apple with the knowledge.
Yes.
He's
yes.
a snake.
And then
He
in
is a
Mortal
snake.
Kombat 1, Rain created a great flood. Flooded the earth. Yep.
There's something to this. This is
Rain is
Snake.
Jesus.
Snake.
Let's keep
I'm
changing
starting
who's
to.
Jesus.
You know what? Yeah.
Havik
Snake,
is Jesus.
Rain is a half god. Remember from the old. Okay. Snake. There actually is some connect. I think this is a video that you should make, Snake. You know, like how you did like
You're
the.
right. Oh my God.
I love how children are like.
Oh my
stroke
God.
during this,
and then that means that like Sindel is like Lilith. Because she sides with Shao Kahn, who's
Yes.
clearly Satan.
Yes,
she's
she's
the
Eve-
fallen one.
she's Eve
He was the
and
protector
Lilith,
that became
depending
the
on the
villain.
version.
So he's Satan, fallen from grace, and then he marries Lilith.
And Satan is canonically in Mortal Kombat too.
Twoo.
Lucifer.
But he got
yeah.
Raffle Mao curb stomped by the fictional Shinnok, right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, someone watching. Technically, they're both fictional. Shut the fuck up.
So as well as those reactions and discussions of various things, we're obviously going to talk about the next story expansion, future trailers.
Of course.
We'll talk about Takeda in episode 51 when these two are back.
49. Oh, and when he comes out, yeah, of course.
Yeah, when they. Shut the fuck up.
We'll talk about everyone's
these two-
reactions to the gender bends when they get revealed. 'Cause it's gonna be funny.
Yeah,
Because like we
that'll be
know,
fun.
but the majority of players don't know, so it's gonna be super funny when they get revealed that and get mad.
I'm sure that episode will have a really funny thumbnail that Sonic comes up with of dog being like or something like that.
No. That episode, I'm just gonna gender swap all your faces, basically. I think that'd be very funny.
I want
Yeah.
to see memes of like how in Street Fighter V when Juri for some reason got bigger tatas and there was fan art made of her being like, well, thank you, Capcom. I want to picture Sector looking in the mirror and like lifting up his boobas and being like, within acceptable parameters. Thank you,
Very
NetherRealm.
Very
I have become
mechanical
hot.
response.
Another thing we've been considering doing is some kind of live thing. We're not
Yeah.
sure on the specifics, but that seems like it could be a fun thing to do at some point.
We have gotten requests for Spotify too, but even I don't use that, so we'll see. Like, if you guys really want it, I could look into that. Just upload the episodes onto Spotify and stuff.
Although those episodes will be inferior because they wouldn't have me faffing around in the background with my little toys. So,
No, it's just gonna be your noise. It's just gonna be like we're just gonna hear the noise and not even know the context.
Yeah, that'll be really funny. That one guy gets really pissed off, and I'm really happy that he is. Yes.
You're still just pissed by that one person.
Yeah. So
But yeah, I was gonna just say basically the future is still bright. You know, the potential is like highly. You know, maybe merch. Maybe
even
who
in
knows?
this
Maybe that's
new
gonna be the
era,
future.
one constant remains: There is always something worth listening for.
Edit there, everyone. Slash your lightsabers at the camera, edit there.
Mine's back there.
Okay, I'll Photoshop your lightsaber to like slash it.
Why are you presenting your lightsabers to me? You have chosen to defy peace. Then you have chosen war with a god.
You have chosen to not watch. You have chosen.
You've chosen to not watch.
We're done, right? We're done.
Yeah, we're done. I think that's good.
Generally, the episodes end when I murder you two, so you know.
Yeah, that's how it usually ends.